Chapter 19. The darkness is choking me. My dreams are bloody and bleeding, and blood is bleeding all over my mind, and I can't sleep anymore. The only dreams that ever used to give me peace are gone, and I don't know how to get them back. I don't know how to find the white bird. I don't know if it will ever fly by. All I know is that now when I close my eyes, I see nothing but devastation. Fletcher is being shot over and over and over again, and Jenkins is dying in my arms, and Warner is shooting Adam in the head, and the wind is singing outside my window, but it's high-pitched and off-key, and I don't have the heart to tell it to stop. I'm freezing through my clothes. The bed under my back is filled with broken clouds and freshly fallen snow. It's too soft, too comfortable. It reminds me too much of sleeping in Warner's room, and I can't stand it. I'm afraid to slip under these covers. I can't help but wonder if Adam is okay, if he'll ever come back, if Warner is going to keep hurting him whenever I disobey. I really shouldn't care so much. Adam's message in my notebook might just be a part of Warner's plan to drive me insane. I crawl onto the hard floor and check my fist for the crumpled piece of paper I've been clutching for 2 days. It's the only hope I have left, and I don't even know if it's real. I'm running out of options.
What are you doing here?
I bite down on a scream and stumble up, over, and sideways, nearly slamming into Adam where he's lying on the floor next to me. I didn't even see him.
Juliette.
He doesn't move an inch. His gaze is fixed on me, calm, unflappable, 2 buckets of river water at midnight. I'd like to cry into his eyes. I don't know why I tell him the truth. I couldn't sleep up there. He doesn't ask me why. He pulls himself up and coughs back a grunt, and I remember how he's been hurt. I wonder what kind of pain he's in. I don't ask questions as he grabs a pillow and the blanket off my bed. He puts the pillow on the floor.
Lie down,
is all he says to me. Quietly is how he says it to me. All day, every day, forever is when I want him to say it to me. They're just 2 words, and I don't know why I'm blushing. I lie down despite the siren spinning in my blood and rest my head on the pillow. He drapes the blanket over my body. I let him do it. I watch as his arms curve and flex in the shadow of night, the glint of the moon peeking in through the window, illuminating his figure in its glow. He lies down on the floor, leaving only a few feet of space between us. He requires no blanket. He uses no pillow. He still sleeps without a shirt on, and I've discovered I don't know how to breathe. I've realized I'll probably never exhale in his presence.
You don't need to scream anymore,
he whispers. Every breath in my body escapes me. I curl my fingers around the possibility of Adam in my hand and sleep more soundly than I have in my life. My eyes are 2 windows cracked open by the chaos in this world. A cool breeze startles my skin and I sit up, rub the sleep from my eyes, and realize Adam is no longer beside me. I blink and crawl back up to the bed, where I replace the pillow and the blanket. I glance at the door and wonder what's waiting for me on the other side. I glance at the window and wonder if I'll ever see a bird fly by. I glance at the clock on the wall and wonder what it means to be living according to numbers again. I wonder what 6:30 in the morning means in this building. I decide to wash my face. The idea exhilarates me, and I'm a little ashamed. I open the bathroom door and catch Adam's reflection in the mirror. His fast hands pull his shirt down before I have a chance to latch on to details, but I saw enough to see what I couldn't see in the darkness. He's covered in bruises. My legs feel broken. I don't know how to help him. I wish I could help him.
I'm sorry,
he says quickly.
I didn't know you were awake.
He tugs on the bottom of his shirt like it's not long enough to pretend I'm blind. I nod at nothing at all. I look at the tile under my feet. I don't know what to say.
Juliette.
His voice hugs the letters in my name so softly I die 5 times in that second. His face is a forest of emotion. He shakes his head.
I'm sorry,
he says, so quietly I'm certain I imagined it.
It's not.
He clenches his jaw and runs a nervous hand through his hair.
All of this, it's not.
I open my palm to him. The paper is a crumpled wad of possibility. I know. Relief washes over every feature on his face, and suddenly his eyes are the only reassurance I'll ever need. Adam did not betray me. I don't know why or how or what or anything at all except that he is still my friend. He is still standing right in front of me and he doesn't want me to die. I step forward and close the door. I open my mouth to speak.
No.
My jaw falls off.
Wait,
he says with one hand. His lips move but make no sound. I realize in the absence of cameras there might still be microphones in the bathroom. Adam looks around and back and forth and everywhere. He stops looking. The shower is 4 walls of marbled glass, and he's sliding the glass open before I have any idea what's happening. He flips the spray on at full power, and the sound of water is rushing through, rumbling through the room, muffling everything as it thunders into the emptiness around us. The mirror is already fogging up on account of the steam, and just as I think I'm beginning to understand his plan, he pulls me into his arms and lifts me into the shower. My screams are vapor, wisps of gasps I can't grasp. Hot water is puddling in my clothes. It's pelting my hair and pouring down my neck, but all I feel are his hands around my waist. I want to cry out for all the wrong reasons. His eyes pin me in place. His urgency ignites my bones. Rivulets of water snake their way down the polished planes of his face, and his fingers press me up against the wall. His lips, his lips, his lips, his lips, his lips. My eyes are fighting not to flutter. My legs have won the right to tremble. My skin is scorched everywhere he's not touching me. His lips are so close to my ear, I'm water and nothing and everything, and melting into a wanting so desperate it burns as I swallow it down. I can touch you, he says, and I wonder why there are hummingbirds in my heart. I didn't understand until the other night, he murmurs, and I'm too drunk to digest the weight of anything but his body hovering so close to mine. Juliette. His body presses closer, and I realize I'm paying attention to nothing but the dandelions blowing wishes in my lungs. My eyes snap open, and he licks his bottom lip for the smallest second, and something in my brain bursts to life. I gasp, I gasp, I gasp. What are you doing?
Juliette, please.
His voice is anxious, and he glances behind him like he's not sure we're alone.
The other night.
He presses his lips together. He closes his eyes for half of a second, and I marvel at the drops of hot water caught in his eyelashes, like pearls forged from pain. His fingers inch up the sides of my body like he's struggling to keep them in one place, like he's struggling not to touch me everywhere, 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 and his eyes are drinking in the 63 inches of my frame, and I'm so caught.
I finally get it now,
he says into my ear.
I know why Warner wants you.
His fingertips are 10 points of electricity, killing me with something I've never known before, something I've always wanted to feel. Then why are you here? I whisper, broken, dying in his arms. Why? 1, 2 attempts at inhalation. Why are you touching me?
Because I can.
He almost cracks a smile, and I almost sprout a pair of wings.
I already have.
What? I blink, suddenly sobered. What do you mean?
That first night in the cell.
He sighs. He looks down.
You were screaming in your sleep.
I wait. I wait. I wait forever.
I touched your face.
He speaks into the shape of my ear.
Your hand. I brushed the length of your arm.
He pulls back, and his eyes rest at my shoulder, trail down to my elbow, land on my wrist. I'm suspended in disbelief.
I didn't know how to wake you up. You wouldn't wake up, so I sat back and watched you. I waited for you to stop screaming.
That's not possible. 3 words are all I can manage. But his hands become arms around my waist, his lips become a cheek pressed against my cheek, and his body is flush against mine, his skin touching me, and he's not screaming, he's not dying, he's not running away from me, and I'm crying, I'm choking, I'm shaking, shuddering, splintering into teardrops, and he's holding me the way no one has ever held me before. Like he wants me.
I'm going to get you out of here,
he says, and his mouth is moving against my hair, and his hands are traveling to my arms, and I'm leaning back, and he's looking into my eyes, and I must be dreaming. Why do you... I'm shaking my head and shaking because this can't be happening, and shaking off the tears glued to my face. This can't be real. His eyes gentle, his smile unhinges my joints, and I wish I knew the taste of his lips. I wish I had the courage to touch him.
I have to go, he says. You have to be dressed and downstairs by 8 o'clock.
I'm drowning in his eyes, and I don't know what to say. He peels off his shirt, and I don't know where to look. I catch myself on the glass panel and press my eyes shut and blink when something flutters too close. His fingers are a moment from my face, and I'm dripping, burning, melting in anticipation.
You don't have to look away,
he says. He says it with a small smile the size of Jupiter. I peek up at his features, at the crooked grin I want to savor, at the color in his eyes I'd use to paint 1,000,000 pictures. I follow the line of his jaw down his neck to the peak of his collarbone. I memorize the sculpted hills and valleys of his arms, the perfection of his torso, the bird on his chest. The bird on his chest. A tattoo. A white bird with streaks of gold like a crown atop its head. It's flying. Adam, I try to tell him. Adam, I try to choke out. Adam, I try to say so many times and fail. I try to find his eyes only to realize he's been watching me study him. The pieces of his face are pressed into lines of emotion so deep, I wonder what I must look like to him. He touches 2 fingers to my chin, tilts my face up just enough, and I'm a live wire in water.
I'll find a way to talk to you,
he says, and his hands are reeling me in, and my face is pressed against his chest, and the world is suddenly brighter, bigger, beautiful. The world suddenly means something to me. The possibility of humanity means something to me. The entire universe stops in place and spins in the other direction, and I'm the bird. I'm the bird, and I'm flying away. Chapter 20. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm wearing a dress the color of dead forests and old tin cans. The fit is tighter than anything I've worn in my life. the cut modern and angular, almost haphazard. The material is stiff and thick, but somehow breathable. I stare at my legs and wonder that I own a pair. I feel more exposed than I ever have in my life. For 17 years, I've trained myself to cover every inch of exposed skin, and Warner is forcing me to peel the layers away. I can only assume he's doing it on purpose. My body is a carnivorous flower, a poisonous houseplant, a loaded gun with a million triggers, and he's more than ready to fire. Touch me and suffer the consequences. There have never been exceptions to this rule. Never but Adam. He left me standing sopping wet in the shower, soaking up a torrential downpour of hot tears. I watched through the blurred glass as he dried himself off and slipped into his standard uniform. I watched as he slipped away, wondering every moment, why can he touch me? Why would he help me? Does he remember me? My skin is still steaming. My bones are bandaged in the tight folds of this strange dress, the zipper the only thing holding me together. That and the prospect of something I've always, never dared to dream of. My lips will stay stitched shut with the secrets of this morning forever, but my heart is so full of confidence and wonder and peace and possibility that it's about to burst, and I wonder if it will rip the dress. Hope is hugging me, holding me in its arms, wiping away my tears and telling me that today and tomorrow and 2 days from now I will be just fine, and I'm so delirious I actually dare to believe it. I am sitting in a blue room. The walls are wallpapered in cloth the color of a perfect summer sky, the floor tucked into a carpet 2 inches thick, the entire room empty but for 2 velvet chairs punched out of a constellation. Every varying hue is like a bruise, like a beautiful mistake, like a reminder of what they did to Adam because of me. I am sitting all alone in a velvet chair in a blue room wearing a dress made of olives. The weight of the notebook in my pocket feels like I'm balancing a bowling ball on my knee.
You look lovely.
Warner whisks into the room like he treads air for a living. He's accompanied by no one. My eyes involuntarily peek down at my tennis shoes, and I wonder if I've broken any rules by avoiding the stilts in my closet I'm sure are not for feet. I look up, and he's standing right in front of me.
Green is a great color on you, he says with a stupid smile. It really brings out the color of your eyes.
What color are my eyes? I ask the wall. He laughs.
You're not serious.
How old are you? He stops laughing.
You care to know?
I'm curious. He takes the seat beside me.
I won't answer your questions if you won't look at me when I speak to you.
You want me to torture people against my will. You want me to be a weapon in your war. You want me to become a monster for you. I pause. Looking at you makes me sick.
You are far more stubborn than I thought you'd be.
I'm wearing your dress. I ate your food. I'm here. I lift my eyes to look at him, and he's already staring straight at me. I'm momentarily caught off guard by the power in his gaze.
You did none of that for me,
he says quietly. I nearly laugh out loud. Why would I? His eyes are fighting his lips for the right to speak. I look away. What are we doing in this room?
He takes a deep breath. Breakfast. Then I give you your schedule.
He presses a button on the arm of his chair, and almost instantly, carts and trays are wheeled into the room by men and women who are clearly not soldiers. Their faces are hard and cracked and too thin to be healthy. It breaks my heart right in half.
I usually eat alone,
Warner continues, his voice like an icicle piercing the flesh of my memories.
But I figured you and I should be more thoroughly acquainted, especially since we'll be spending so much time together.
The servants, maids, people who are not soldiers, leave, and Warner offers me something on a dish. I'm not hungry.
This is not an option.
I look up and realize he's very, very serious.
You are not allowed to starve yourself to death. You don't eat enough, and I need you to be healthy. You are not allowed to commit suicide. You are not allowed to harm yourself. You are too valuable to me.
I am not your toy, I nearly spit. He drops his plate onto the rolling cart, and I'm surprised it doesn't shatter into pieces. He clears his throat, and I might actually be scared.
This process would be so much easier if you would just cooperate,
he says, enunciating every word. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5 heartbeats.
The world is disgusted by you,
he says, his lips twitching with humor.
Everyone you've ever known has hated you, run from you, abandoned you. Your own parents gave up on you and volunteered your existence to be given up to the authorities. They were so desperate to get rid of you, to make you someone else's problem, to convince themselves the abomination they raised was not, in fact, their child.
My face has been slapped by 100 hands.
And yet,
he laughs openly now,
you insist on making me the bad guy.
He meets my eyes.
I am trying to help you. I'm giving you an opportunity no one would ever offer you. I'm willing to treat you as an equal. I'm willing to give you everything you could ever want. And above all else, I can put power in your hands. I can make them suffer for what they did to you.
He leans in just enough.
I can change your world.
He's wrong. He's so wrong. He's more wrong than an upside-down rainbow. But everything he said is right.
Don't dare to hate me so quickly,
he continues.
You might find yourself enjoying this situation a lot more than you anticipated. Lucky for you, I'm willing to be patient.
He grins, leans back.
Though it certainly doesn't hurt that you're so alarmingly beautiful.
I'm dripping red paint on the carpet. He's a liar and a horrible, horrible, horrible human being, and I don't know if I care because he's right, or because it's so wrong, or because I'm so desperate for some semblance of recognition in this world. No one has ever said anything like that to me before. It makes me want to look in the mirror.
You and I are not as different as you might hope.
His grin is so cocky, I want to twist it with my fist. You and I are not as similar as you might hope. He smiles so wide, I'm not sure how to react.
I'm 19, by the way.
Excuse me?
I'm 19 years old,
he clarifies.
I'm a fairly impressive specimen for my age, I know.
I pick up my spoon and poke at the edible matter on my plate. I don't know what food really is anymore. I have no respect for you.
You will change your mind,
he says easily.
Now hurry up and eat. We have a lot of work to do.
Chapter 21. Killing time isn't as difficult as it sounds. I can shoot 100 numbers through the chest and watch them bleed decimal points in the palm of my hand. I can rip the numbers off a clock and watch the hour hand tick, tick, tick its final talk just before I fall asleep. I can suffocate seconds just by holding my breath. I've been murdering minutes for hours and no one seems to mind. It's been 1 week since I've spoken a word to Adam. I turned to him once, opened my mouth just once, but never had a chance to say anything before Warner intercepted me.
"You are not allowed to speak to the soldiers," he said. "If you have questions, you can find me. I am the only person you need to concern yourself with while you're here."
Possessive is not a strong enough word for Warner. He escorts me everywhere, talks to me too much. My schedule consists of meetings with Warner and eating with Warner and listening to Warner. If he is busy, I am sent to my room. If he is free, he finds me. He tells me about the books they've destroyed, the artifacts they're preparing to burn, the ideas he has for a new world, and how I'll be a great help to him just as soon as I'm ready. Just as soon as I realize how much I want this, how much I want him, how much I want this new, glorious, powerful life. He is waiting for me to harness my potential. He tells me how grateful I should be for his patience, his kindness, his willingness to understand that this transition must be difficult. I cannot look at Adam. I cannot speak to him. He sleeps in my room, but I never see him. He breathes so close to my body, but does not part his lips in my direction. He does not follow me into the bathroom. He does not leave secret messages in my notebook. I'm beginning to wonder if I imagined everything he said to me. I need to know if something has changed. I need to know if I'm crazy for holding on to this hope blossoming in my heart, and I need to know what Adam's message meant. But every day that he treats me like a stranger is another day I begin to doubt myself. I need to talk to him, but I can't, because now Warner is watching me. The cameras are watching everything. I want you to take the cameras out of my room. Warner stops chewing the food, garbage, breakfast nonsense in his mouth. He swallows carefully before leaning back and looking me in the eye.
"Absolutely not."
"If you treat me like a prisoner," I tell him, "I'm going to act like one. I don't like to be watched."
"You can't be trusted on your own."
He picks up his spoon again. "Every breath I take is monitored. There are guards stationed in 5-foot intervals in all the hallways. I don't even have access to my own room," I protest. "Cameras aren't going to make a difference." A strange kind of amusement dances on his lips.
"You're not exactly stable, you know. You're liable to kill someone."
"No!" I grip my fingers. "No, I wouldn't. I didn't kill Jenkins."
"I'm not talking about Jenkins."
His smile is a vat of acid seeping into my skin. He won't stop looking at me, smiling at me, torturing me with his eyes. This is me, screaming silently into my fist. That was an accident. The words tumble out of my mouth so quietly, so quickly, I don't even know if I've actually spoken, or if I'm actually still sitting here, or if I'm actually 14 years old all over again, all over again, all over again, and I'm screaming and dying and diving into a pool of memories I never, ever, 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 I can't seem to forget. I saw her at the grocery store. Her legs were standing crossed at the ankles. Her child was on a leash he thought was a backpack. She thought he was too dumb, too young, too immature to understand that the rope tying him to her wrist was a device designed to trap him in her uninterested circle of self-sympathy. She's too young to have a kid, to have these responsibilities, to be buried by a child who has needs that don't accommodate her own. Her life is so incredibly unbearable, so immensely multifaceted, too glamorous for the leashed legacy of her loins to understand. Children are not stupid, was what I wanted to tell her. I wanted to tell her that his 7th scream didn't mean he was trying to be obnoxious, that her 14th admonishment in the form of "Brat, you're such a brat. You're embarrassing me, you little brat. Don't make me tell Daddy you were being a brat," was uncalled for. I didn't mean to watch, but I couldn't help myself. His 3-year-old face puckered in pain. His little hands tried to undo the chain she'd strapped across his chest, and she tugged so hard he fell down and cried, and she told him he deserved it. I wanted to ask her why she would do that. I wanted to ask her so many questions, but I didn't, because we don't talk to people anymore, because saying something would be stranger than saying nothing to a stranger. He fell to the floor and writhed around until I dropped everything in my hands and every feature on my face. "I'm so sorry," is what I never said to her son. I thought my hands were helping. I thought my heart was helping. I thought so many things I never thought.
You killed a little boy.
I'm nailed into my velvet chair by a million memories, and I'm haunted by a horror my bare hands created, and I'm reminded in every moment that I am unwanted for good reason. My hands can kill people. My hands can destroy everything. I should not be allowed to live. I gasp, struggling to swallow the fist lodged in my throat. "I want you to get rid of the cameras. Get rid of them, or I will die fighting you for the right."
Finally!
Warner stands up and clasps his hands together as if to congratulate himself.
I was wondering when you'd wake up. I've been waiting for the fire I know must be eating away at you every single day. You're buried in hatred, aren't you? Anger? Frustration? Itching to do something, to be someone?
No.
Of course you are. You're just like me.
I hate you more than you will ever understand.
We're going to make an excellent team.
We are nothing. You are nothing to me.
I know what you want.
He leans in, drops his voice.
I know what your little heart has always longed for. I can give you the acceptance you seek. I can be your friend.
I freeze, falter, fail to speak.
I know everything about you, love.
He grins.
I've wanted you for a very long time. I've waited forever for you to be ready. I'm not going to let you go so easily.
I don't want to be a monster, I say, perhaps more for my sake than his.
Don't fight what you're born to be.
He grasps my shoulders.
Stop letting everyone else tell you what's wrong and right. Stake a claim. You cower when you could conquer. You have so much more power than you're aware of, and quite frankly,
He shakes his head.
Fascinated.
I am not your freak, I snap. I will not perform for you. He tightens his hold around my arms, and I can't squirm away from him. He leans in dangerously close to my face, and I don't know why, but I can't breathe.
I'm not afraid of you, my dear,
he says softly.
I'm absolutely enchanted.
Either you get rid of the cameras or I will find and break every single one of them. I'm a liar. I'm lying through my teeth, but I'm angry and desperate and horrified. Warner wants to morph me into an animal who preys on the weak, on the innocent. If he wants me to fight for him, he's going to have to fight me first. A slow smile spreads across his face. He touches gloved fingers to my cheek and tilts my head up, catching my chin in his grip when I flinch away.
You're absolutely delicious when you're angry.
Too bad my taste is poisonous for your palate. I'm vibrating in disgust from head to toe.
That detail makes this game so much more appealing.
You're sick. You're so sick. He laughs and releases my chin only to take inventory of my body parts. His eyes draw a lazy trail down the length of my frame, and I feel the sudden urge to rupture his spleen.
If I get rid of your cameras, what will you do for me?
His eyes are wicked. Nothing. He shakes his head.
That won't do. I might agree to your proposition if you agree to a condition.
I clench my jaw. What do you want? The smile is bigger than before.
That is a dangerous question.
What is your condition? I clarify, impatient.
Touch me.
What? My gasp is so loud it catches in my throat, only to race around the room.
I want to know exactly what you're capable of.
His voice is steady, his eyebrows taut, tense. I won't do it again, I explode. You saw what you made me do to Jenkins.
Screw Jenkins, he spits. I want you to touch me. I want to feel it myself.
No! I'm shaking my head so hard it makes me dizzy. No, never! You're crazy! I won't!
You will, actually.
I will not!
You will have to. Work. At one point or another, he says, making an effort to moderate his voice. Even if you were to forego my condition, you are here for a reason, Juliette. I convinced my father that you would be an asset to the reestablishment, that you'd be able to restrain any rebels we...
You mean torture?
Yes. He smiles. Forgive me. I mean torture. You will be able to help us torture anyone we capture.
A pause.
Inflicting pain, you see, is an incredibly efficient method of getting information out of anyone. And with you,
he glances at my hands.
Well, it's cheap, fast, effective.
He smiles wider.
And as long as we keep you alive, you'll be good for at least a few decades. It's very fortunate that you're not battery operated.
You... I sputter.
You should be thanking me. I saved you from that sick hole of an asylum. I brought you into a position of power. I've given you everything you could possibly need to be comfortable.
He levels his gaze at me.
Now I need you to focus. I need you to relinquish your hopes of living like everyone else. You are not normal. You never have been, and you never will be. Embrace who you are.
I swallow. I'm
a murderer?
No!
An instrument of torture?
Stop!
You're lying to yourself.
I'm ready to destroy him. He cocks his head and presses back a smile.
You've been on the edge of insanity your entire life, haven't you? So many people called you crazy, you actually started to believe it. You wondered if they were right. You wondered if you could fix it. You thought if you could just try a little harder, be a little better, smarter, nicer, you thought the world would change its mind about you. You blamed yourself for everything.
I gasp. My bottom lip trembles without my permission. I can hardly control the tension in my jaw. I don't want to tell him he's right.
You've suppressed all your rage and resentment because you wanted to be loved, he says,
no longer smiling.
Maybe I understand you, Juliette. Maybe you should trust me. Maybe you should accept the fact that you've tried to be someone you're not for so long, and that no matter what you did, those bastards were never happy. They were never satisfied. They never gave a damn, did they?
He looks at me, and for a moment he seems almost human. For a moment, I want to believe him. For a moment, I want to sit on the floor and cry out the ocean lodged in my throat.
It's time you stopped pretending, he says, so softly. Juliette.
He takes my face in his gloved hands, so unexpectedly gentle.
You don't have to be nice anymore. You can destroy all of them. You can take them down and own this whole world, and
a steam engine hits me in the face. I don't want to destroy anyone, I tell him. I don't want to hurt people.
But they deserve it.
He pushes away from me, frustrated.
How could you not want to retaliate? How could you not want to fight back?
I stand up slowly, shaking with anger, hoping my legs won't collapse beneath me. You think that because I am unwanted, because I am neglected and discarded... My voice inches higher with every word, the unrestrained emotion suddenly screaming through my lungs. You think I don't have a heart? You think I don't feel? You think that because I can inflict pain that I should? You're just like everyone else. You think I'm a monster just like everyone else. You don't understand me at all.
Juliette?
No. I don't want this. I don't want his life. I don't want to be anything for anyone but myself. I want to make my own choices, and I've never wanted to be a monster. My words are slow and steady when I speak. I value human life a lot more than you do, Warner. He opens his mouth to speak before he stops, laughs out loud and shakes his head, smiles at me. What? I ask before I can stop myself.
You just said my name.
He grins even wider.
You've never addressed me directly before. That must mean I'm making progress with you.
I just told you I don't... He cuts me off.
I'm not worried about your moral dilemmas. You're just stalling for time because you're in denial. Don't worry, he says. You'll get over it. I can wait a little longer.
I'm not in denial.
Of course you are. You don't know it yet, Juliette, but you are a very bad girl, he says, clutching his heart. Just my type.
This conversation is impossible. There is a soldier living in my room. I'm breathing hard. If you want me to be here, you need to get rid of the cameras. Warner's eyes darken for just an instant.
Where is your soldier, anyway?
I wouldn't know. I hope to God I'm not blushing. You assigned him to me.
Yes.
He looks thoughtful.
I like watching you squirm. He makes you uncomfortable, doesn't he?
I think about Adam's hands on my body, and his lips so close to mine, and the scent of his skin drenched in a steaming downpour soaking the two of us together, and suddenly my heart is two fists pounding on my ribs, demanding escape. Yes, God, yes, he makes me very uncomfortable.
Do you know why I chose him?
Warner asks, and I'm run over by a tractor trailer. Adam was chosen. Of course he was. He wasn't just any soldier sent to my cell. Warner does nothing without reason. He must know Adam and I have a history. He is more cruel and calculative than I gave him credit for. No. Inhale. I don't know why. Exhale. I can't forget to breathe.
He volunteered,
Warner says simply, and I'm momentarily dumbstruck.
He said he'd gone to school with you so many years ago. He said you probably wouldn't remember him, that he looks a lot different now than he did back then. He put together a very convincing case. a beat of breath. He said he was thrilled to hear you'd been locked up. Warner finally looks at me. My bones are like cubes of ice clinking together, chilling me to my core. I'm curious, he continues, tilting his head as he speaks. Do you remember him?
No. I lie. And I'm not sure I'm alive. I'm trying to untangle the truth from the false, from assumptions, from the postulations, but run-on sentences are twisting around my throat. Adam knew me when he walked into that cell. He knew exactly who I was. He already knew my name. Oh, this was all a trap.
Does this information make you angry?
He asks, and I want to sew his smiling lips into a permanent scowl. I say nothing, and somehow it's worse. Warner is beaming.
I never told him, of course, why it was that you'd been locked up. I thought the experiment in the asylum should remain untainted by extra information. But he said you were always a threat to the students, that everyone was always warned to stay away from you, though the authorities never explained why. He said he wanted to get a closer look at the freak you've become.
My heart cracks. My eyes flash. I'm so hurt, so angry, so horrified, so humiliated, and burning with indignation so raw that it's like a fire raging within me, a wildfire of decimated hopes. I want to crush Warner's spine in my hand. I want him to know what it's like to wound, to inflict such unbearable agony on others. I want him to know my pain, and Jenkins' pain, and Fletcher's pain, and I want him to hurt. Because maybe Warner is right. Maybe some people do deserve it. Take off your shirt. For all his posturing, Warner looks genuinely surprised, but he wastes no time unbuttoning his jacket, slipping off his gloves and peeling away the thin cotton shirt clinging closest to his skin. His eyes are bright, sickeningly eager. He doesn't mask his curiosity. Warner drops his clothes to the floor and looks at me almost intimately. I have to swallow back the revulsion bubbling in my mouth. His perfect face, his perfect body, his eyes as hard and beautiful as frozen gemstones. He repulses me. I want his exterior to match his broken black interior. I want to cripple his cockiness with the palm of my hand. He walks up to me until there's less than a foot of space between us. His height and build make me feel like a fallen twig.
Are you ready?
He asks, arrogant and foolish. I contemplate breaking his neck. If I do this, you'll get rid of all the cameras in my room, all the bugs, everything. He steps closer, dips his head. He's staring at my lips, studying me in an entirely new way.
My promises aren't worth much, love,
he whispers.
Or have you forgotten?
3 inches forward, his hand on my waist, his breath sweet and warm on my neck.
I'm an exceptional liar.
Realization slams into me like 200 pounds of common sense. I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be making deals with him. I shouldn't be contemplating torture. Dear God, I have lost my mind. My fists are balled at my sides and I'm shaking everywhere. I can hardly find the strength to speak. You can go to hell. I'm limp. I trip backward against the wall and slump into a heap of uselessness, desperation. I think of Adam and my heart deflates. I can't be here anymore. I fly to the double doors facing the room and yank them open before Warner can stop me. But Adam stops me instead. He's standing just outside, waiting, guarding me wherever I go. I wonder if he heard everything, and my eyes fall to the floor, the color flushed from my face, my heart in pieces in my hand. Of course he heard everything. Of course he now knows I'm a murderer, a monster, a worthless soul stuffed into a poisonous body. Warner did this on purpose. And I'm standing between them, Warner with no shirt on, Adam looking at his gun.
"Soldier," Warner speaks. "Take her back up to her room and disable all the cameras. She can have lunch alone if she wants, but I'll expect her for dinner."
Adam blinks for a moment too long.
"Yes, sir."
"Juliette?" I freeze. My back is to Warner and I don't turn around.
"I do expect you to hold up your end of the bargain."
Chapter 22. It takes 5 years to walk to the elevator, 15 more to ride it up. I'm 1,000,000 years old by the time I walk into my room. Adam is still, silent, perfectly put together, and mechanical in his movements. There's nothing in his eyes, in his limbs, in the motions of his body that indicate he even knows my name. I watch him move quickly, swiftly, carefully around the room, finding the little devices meant to monitor my behavior and disabling them one by one. If anyone asks why my cameras aren't working, Adam won't get in trouble. This order came from Warner. This makes it official. This makes it possible for me to have some privacy. I thought I would need privacy. I'm such a fool. Adam is not the boy I remember. I was in 3rd grade. I'd just moved into town after being thrown out of, asked to leave my old school. My parents were always moving, always running away from the messes I made, from the playdates I'd ruined, from the friendships I never had. No one ever wanted to talk about my problem, but the mystery surrounding my existence somehow made things worse. The human imagination is often disastrous when left to its own devices. I only heard bits and pieces of their whispers. "Freak! Did you hear what she did? What a loser. Got kicked out of her old school. Psycho! She's got some kind of disease." No one talked to me. Everyone stared. I was young enough that I still cried. I ate lunch alone by a chain-link fence and never looked in the mirror. I never wanted to see the face everyone hated so much. Girls used to kick me and run away. Boys used to throw rocks at me. I still have scars somewhere. I watched the world pass by through those chain-link fences. I stared out at the cars and the parents dropping off their kids in the moments I'd never be a part of. This was before the diseases became so common that death was a natural part of conversation. This was before we realized the clouds were the wrong color, before we realized all the animals were dying or infected, before we realized everyone was going to starve to death, and fast. This was back when we still thought our problems had solutions. Back then, Adam was the boy who used to walk to school. Adam was the boy who sat 3 rows in front of me. His clothes were worse than mine, his lunch non-existent. I never saw him eat. One morning, he came to school in a car. I know because I saw him being pushed out of it. His father was drunk and driving, yelling and flailing his fists for some reason. Adam stood very still and stared at the ground like he was waiting for something, steeling himself for the inevitable. I watched a father slap his 8-year-old son in the face. I watched Adam fall to the floor, and I stood there, motionless, as he was kicked repeatedly in the ribs. "It's all your fault! It's all your fault, you worthless piece of shit!" His father screamed over and over and over again, until I threw up right there, all over a patch of dandelions. Adam didn't cry. He stayed curled up on the ground until his father gave up, until he drove away. Only once he was sure everyone was gone did his body break into heaving sobs, his small face smeared into the dirt, his arms clutching at his bruised abdomen. I couldn't look away. I could never get that sound out of my head, that scene out of my head. That's when I started paying attention to Adam Kent.
Juliette.
I suck in my breath and wish my hands weren't trembling. I wish I had no eyes.
Juliette,
he says again, this time even softer, and my body is in a blender and I'm made of mush. My bones are aching, aching, aching for his warmth. I won't turn around. You always knew who I was, I whisper. He says nothing, and I'm suddenly desperate to see his eyes. I suddenly need to see his eyes. I turn to face him despite everything, only to see he's staring at his hands.
I'm sorry,
is all he says. I lean back against the wall and press my lids shut. Everything was a performance. Stealing my bed, asking for my name, asking me about my family. He was performing for Warner, for the guards, for whoever was watching. I don't even know what to believe anymore. I need to say it. I need to get it out. I need to rip my wounds open and bleed fresh for him. It's true, I tell him. About the little boy? My voice is shaking so much more than I thought it would. I did that. He's quiet for so long.
I never understood before. When I first heard about it, I didn't realize until just now what must have happened.
What? I never knew I could blink so much.
It never made sense to me,
he says, and each word kicks me in the gut. He looks up and looks more agonized than I ever want him to be.
When I heard about it, we all heard about it, the whole school.
It was an accident, I choke out, failing not to fall apart. He fell, and I was trying to help him, and I thought...
I know.
What? I gasp so loud I've swallowed the entire room in one breath.
I believe you,
he says to me. What? Why? My eyes are blinking back tears, my hands unsteady, my heart filled with nervous hope. He bites his bottom lip, looks away, walks to the wall, opens and closes his mouth several times before the words rush out.
Because I knew you, Juliette.
He covers his mouth with his hand, drops his fingers to his neck, rubs his forehead, closes his eyes, presses his lips together, pries them open.
That was the day I was going to talk to you.
A strange sort of smile, a strange sort of laugh. He runs a hand through his hair, looks up at the ceiling, turns his back to me.
I was finally going to talk to you. And I...
He shakes his head hard and attempts another painful laugh.
God, you don't remember me.
Hundreds of thousands of seconds pass and I can't stop dying. I want to laugh and cry and scream and run, and I can't choose which to do first. I confess. Of course I remember you. My voice is a strangled whisper. I squeeze my eyes shut. I remember you every day forever in every single broken moment of my life. You were the only one who ever looked at me like a human being. He never talked to me. He never spoke a single word to me, but he was the only one who dared to sit close to my fence. He was the only one who stood up for me. The only person who fought for me, the only one who'd punch someone in the face for throwing a rock at my head. I didn't even know how to say thank you. He was the closest thing to a friend I ever had. I open my eyes and he's standing right in front of me. My heart is a field of lilies blooming under a pane of glass, pitter-pattering to life like a rush of raindrops. His jaw is as tight as his eyes, as tight as his fists, as tight as the strain in his arms.
You've always known.
3 whispered words, and he's broken my dam, unlocked my lips and stolen my heart all over again. I can hardly feel the tears streaming down my face. Adam! I try to laugh and my lips trip on a stifled sob. I'd recognize your eyes anywhere in the world. And that's it. This time, there's no self-control. This time, I'm in his arms and against the wall, and I'm trembling everywhere, and he's so gentle, so careful, touching me like I'm made of porcelain, and I want to shatter. He's running his hands down my body, running his eyes across my face, running laps with his heart, and I'm running marathons with my mind. Everything is on fire. My cheeks, my hands, the pit of my stomach, and I'm drowning in waves of emotion and a storm of fresh rain, and all I feel is the strength of his silhouette against mine, and I never, ever, ever, ever want to forget this moment. I want to stamp him into my skin and save him forever. He takes my hands and presses my palms to his face, and I know I never knew the beauty of feeling human before this. I know I'm still crying when my eyes flutter closed. I whisper his name, and he's breathing harder than I am, and suddenly his lips are on my neck, and I'm gasping and dying and clutching at his arms, and he's touching me, and I'm thunder and lightning and wondering when the hell I'll be waking up. Once, twice, 100 times his lips taste the nape of my neck, and I wonder if it's possible to die of euphoria. He meets my eyes only to cup my face in his hands, and I'm blushing through these walls from pleasure and pain and impossibility.
I've wanted to kiss you for so long.
His voice is husky, uneven, deep in my ear. I'm frozen in anticipation, in expectation, and I'm so worried he'll kiss me, so worried he won't. I'm staring at his lips, and I don't realize how close we are until we're pulled apart. 3 distinct electronic screeches reverberate around the room, and Adam looks past me like he can't understand where he is for a moment. He blinks and runs toward an intercom to press the appropriate buttons. I notice he's still breathing hard. I'm shaking in my skin. "Name and number," the voice of the intercom demands.
Kent, Adam, 45B-86659.
A pause.
Soldier, are you aware the cameras in your room have been deactivated? Yes, sir. I was given direct orders to dismantle the devices.
Who cleared this order?
Warner, sir.
A longer pause.
We'll verify and confirm. Unauthorized tampering with security devices may result in your immediate dishonorable discharge, soldier. I hope you're aware of that. Yes, sir.
The line goes quiet. Adam slumps against the wall, his chest heaving. I'm not sure, but I could have sworn his lips twitched into the tiniest smile. He closes his eyes and exhales. I'm not sure what to do with the relief tumbling into my hands.
Come here,
he says, his eyes still shut. I tiptoe forward and he pulls me into his arms, breathes in the scent of my hair and kisses the side of my head, and I've never felt anything so incredible in my life. I'm not even human anymore. I'm so much more. The sun and the moon have merged, and the earth is upside down. I feel like I can be exactly who I want to be in his arms. He makes me forget the terror I'm capable of.
Juliette,
he whispers in my ear.
We need to get the hell out of here.
Chapter 23. I'm 14 years old again, and I'm staring at the back of his head in a small classroom. I'm 14 years old, and I've been in love with Adam Kent for years. I made sure to be extra careful, to be extra quiet, to be extra cooperative because I didn't want to move away again. I didn't want to leave the school with the one friendly face I'd ever known. I watched him grow up a little more every day, grow a little taller every day, a little stronger, a little tougher, a little more quiet every day. He eventually got too big to get beat up by his dad, but no one really knows what happened to his mother. The students shunned him, harassed him until he started fighting back, until the pressure of the world finally cracked him. But his eyes always stayed the same. Always the same when he looked at me, kind, compassionate, desperate to understand. But he never asked questions. He never pushed me to say a word. He just made sure he was close enough to scare away everyone else. I thought maybe I wasn't so bad. Maybe. I thought maybe he saw something in me. I thought maybe I wasn't as horrible as everyone said I was. I hadn't touched anyone in years. I didn't dare get close to people. I couldn't risk it. Until one day I did. And I ruined everything. I killed a little boy in a grocery store simply by helping him to his feet, by grabbing his little hands. I didn't understand why he was screaming. It was my first experience ever touching someone for such a long period of time, and I didn't understand what was happening to me. The few times I'd ever accidentally put my hands on someone, I'd always pulled away. I pulled away as soon as I remembered I wasn't supposed to be touching anyone, as soon as I heard the first scream escape their lips. The little boy was different. I wanted to help him. I felt such a surge of sudden anger toward his mother for neglecting his cries. Her lack of compassion as a parent devastated me, and it reminded me too much of my own mother. I just wanted to help him. I wanted him to know that someone else was listening, that someone else cared. I didn't understand why it felt so strange and exhilarating to touch him. I didn't know that I was draining his life, and I couldn't comprehend why he'd grown limp and quiet in my arms. I thought maybe the rush of power and positive feeling meant that I'd been cured of my horrible disease. I thought so many stupid things, and I ruined everything. I thought I was helping. I spent the next 3 years of my life in hospitals, law offices, juvenile detention centers, and suffered through pills and electroshock therapy. Nothing worked. Nothing helped. Outside of killing me, locking me up in an institution was the only solution. The only way to protect the public from the terror of Juliette. Until he stepped into my cell. I hadn't seen Adam Kent in 3 years. And he does look different. Tougher, taller, harder, sharper, tattooed. He's muscle, mature, quiet, and quick. It's almost like he can't afford to be soft or slow or relaxed. He can't afford to be anything but muscle, anything but strength and efficiency. The lines of his face are smooth, precise, carved into shape by years of hard living and training and trying to survive. He's not a little boy anymore. He's not afraid. He's in the army. But he's not so different either. He still has the most unusually blue eyes I've ever seen, dark and deep and drenched in passion. I always wondered what it'd be like to see the world through such a beautiful lens. I wondered if your eye color meant you saw the world differently, if the world saw you differently as a result. I should have known it was him when he showed up in my cell. Part of me did. But I'd tried so hard to repress the memories of my past that I refused to believe it could be possible. Because a part of me didn't want to remember. A part of me was too scared to hope. A part of me didn't know if it would make any difference to know that it was him after all. I often wonder what I must look like. I wonder if I'm just a punctured shadow of the person I was before. I haven't looked in the mirror in 3 years. I'm so scared of what I'll see. Someone knocks on the door. I'm catapulted across the room by my own fear. Adam locks eyes with me before opening the door, and I decide to retreat into a far corner of the room. I sharpen my ears only to hear muted voices, hushed tones, and someone clearing his throat. I'm not sure what to do.
"I'll be down in a minute,"
Adam says a little loudly. I realize he's trying to end the conversation. "Come on, man, I just want to see her."
"She's not a goddamn spectacle, Kenji. Get the hell out of here."
"Wait, just tell me, does she light shit on fire with her eyes?" Kenji laughs and I cringe, slumping to the floor behind the bed. I curl into myself and try not to hear the rest of the conversation. I fail. Adam sighs. I can picture him rubbing his forehead.
"Just get out."
Kenji struggles to muffle his laughter.
"Damn, you're sensitive all of a sudden, huh? Hanging out with a girl is changing you, man."
Adam says something I can't hear. The door slams shut. I peek up from my hiding place. Adam looks embarrassed. My cheeks go pink. I study the intricate threads of the finely woven carpet under my feet. I touch the cloth wallpaper and wait for him to speak. I stand up to stare out the small square of a window, only to be met by the bleak backdrop of a broken city. I lean my forehead against the glass. Metal cubes are clustered together off in the distance. Compounds housing civilians wrapped in multiple layers, trying to find refuge from the cold. A mother holding the hand of a small child. Soldiers standing over them, still like statues. Rifles poised and ready to fire. Heaps and heaps and heaps of trash. Dangerous scraps of iron and steel glinting on the ground. Lonely trees waving at the wind. Adam's hands slip around my waist. His lips are at my ear and he says nothing at all, but I melt until I'm a handful of hot butter dripping down his body. I want to eat every minute of this moment. I allow my eyes to shut against the truth outside my window, just for a little while. Adam takes a deep breath and pulls me even closer. I'm molded to the shape of his silhouette. His hands are circling my waist, and his cheek is pressed against my head.
"You feel incredible."
I try to laugh, but seem to have forgotten how. Those are words I never thought I'd hear. Adam spins me around so I'm facing him, and suddenly I'm looking and not looking at his face. I'm licked by a million flames and swallowing a million more. He's staring at me like he's never seen me before. I want to wash my soul in the bottomless blue of his eyes. He leans in until his forehead rests against mine, and our lips still aren't close enough. He whispers,
"How are you?"
And I want to kiss every beautiful beat of his heart. How are you? 3 words no one ever asks me. I want to get out of here, is all I can think of. He squeezes me against his chest, and I marvel at the power, the glory, the wonder in such a simple movement. He feels like one block of strength, 6 feet tall. Every butterfly in the world has migrated to my stomach.
"Juliette."
I lean back to see his face.
"Are you serious about leaving?"
He asks me. His fingers brush the side of my cheek. He tucks a stray strand of hair behind my ear.
"Do you understand the risks?"
I take a deep breath. I know that the only real risk is death. Yes. He nods, drops his eyes, his voice.
"The troops are mobilizing for some kind of attack. There have been a lot of protests from groups who were silent before, and our job is to obliterate the resistance. I think they want this attack to be their last one.
He adds quietly,
There's something huge going on, and I'm not sure what, not yet. But whatever it is, we have to be ready to go when they are.
I freeze. What do you mean?
When the troops are ready to deploy, you and I should be ready to run. It's the only way out that will give us time to disappear. Everyone will be too focused on the attack. It'll buy us some time before they notice we're missing or can get enough people together to search for us.
But you mean you'll come with me? You'd be willing to do that for me? He smiles a small smile. His lips twitch like he's trying not to laugh. His eyes soften as they study my own.
There's very little I wouldn't do for you.
I take a deep breath and close my eyes, touching my fingers to his chest, imagining the bird soaring across his skin, and I ask him the one question that scares me the most. Why?
What do you mean?
He steps back. Why, Adam? Why do you care? Why do you want to help me? I don't understand. I don't know why you'd be willing to risk your life. But then his arms are around my waist, and he's pulling me so close, and his lips are at my ear, and he says my name once, twice, and I had no idea I could catch on fire so quickly. His mouth is smiling against my skin.
You don't?
I don't know anything, is what I would tell him if I had any idea how to speak. He laughs a little and pulls back, takes my hand and studies it.
Do you remember in 4th grade, he says, when Molly Carter signed up for the school field trip too late? All the spots were filled, and she stood outside the bus crying because she wanted to go.
He doesn't wait for me to answer.
I remember you got off the bus. You offered her your seat, and she didn't even say thank you. I watched you standing on the sidewalk as we pulled away.
I'm no longer breathing.
Do you remember in 5th grade, that week Dana's parents nearly got divorced? She came to school every day without her lunch, and you offered to give her yours.
He pauses.
As soon as that week was over, she went back to pretending you didn't exist.
I'm still not breathing.
In 7th grade, Shelley Morrison got caught cheating off your math test. She kept screaming that if she failed, her father would kill her. You told the teacher that you were the one cheating off her test. You got a 0 on the exam and detention for a week.
He lifts his head but doesn't look at me.
You had bruises on your arms for at least a month after that. I always wondered where they came from.
My heart is beating too fast, dangerously fast. I clench my fingers to keep them from shaking. I lock my jaw in place and wipe my face clean of emotion, but I can't slow the thrumming in my chest no matter how hard I try.
1,000,000 times,
he says, his voice so quiet now.
I saw you do things like that 1,000,000 times, but you never said a word unless it was forced out of you.
He laughs again, this time a hard, heavy sort of laugh. He's staring at a point directly past my shoulder.
You never asked for anything from anyone.
He finally meets my eyes.
But no one ever gave you a chance.
I swallow hard, try to look away, but he catches my face. He whispers,
You have no idea how much I thought about you, how many times I've dreamt.
He takes a tight breath.
How many times I've dreamt about being this close to you.
He moves to run a hand through his hair before he changes his mind. Looks down, looks up.
God, Juliette, I'd follow you anywhere. You're the only good thing left in this world.
I'm begging myself not to burst into tears, and I don't know if it's working. I'm everything broken and glued back together, and blushing everywhere, and I can hardly find the strength to meet his gaze. His fingers find my chin, tip me up.
"We have 3 weeks at the most," he says. "I don't think they can control the mobs for much longer."
I nod. I blink. I rest my face against his chest and pretend I'm not crying. 3 weeks. Chapter 24. 2 weeks pass. 2 weeks of dresses and showers and food I want to throw across the room. 2 weeks of Warner smiling and touching my waist, laughing and guiding the small of my back, making sure I look my best as I walk beside him. He thinks I'm his trophy, his secret weapon. I have to stifle the urge to crack his knuckles into concrete. But I offer him 2 weeks of cooperation because in 1 week we'll be gone. Hopefully. But then, more than anything else, I've found I don't hate Warner as much as I thought I did. I feel sorry for him. He finds a strange sort of solace in my company. He thinks I can relate to him and his twisted notions, his cruel upbringing, his absent and simultaneously demanding father. But he never says a word about his mother. Adam says that no one knows anything about Warner's mother, that she's never been discussed and no one has any idea who she is. He says that Warner is only known to be the consequence of ruthless parenting and a cold, calculated desire for power. He hates happy children and happy parents and their happy lives. I think Warner thinks that I understand him. And I do. And I don't. Because we're not the same. I want to be better. Adam and I have little time together but nighttime, and even then not so much. Warner watches me more closely every day. Disabling the cameras only made him more suspicious. He's always walking into my room unexpectedly, taking me on unnecessary tours around the building, talking about nothing but his plans, and his plans to make more plans, and how together we'll conquer the world. I don't pretend to care. Maybe it's me who's making this worse.
"I can't believe Warner actually agreed to get rid of your cameras,"
Adam said to me one night. He's insane. He's not rational. He's sick in a way I'll never understand. Adam sighed.
"He's obsessed with you."
What? I nearly snapped my neck in surprise.
"You're all he ever talks about."
Adam was silent a moment, his jaw too tight.
"I heard stories about you before you even got here. That's why I got involved. It's why I volunteered to go get you. Warner spent months collecting information about you. Addresses, medical records, personal histories, family relations, birth certificates, blood tests. The entire army was talking about his new project. Everyone knew he was looking for a girl who killed a little boy in a grocery store. A girl named Juliette."
I held my breath. Adam shook his head.
"I knew it was you. It had to be. I asked Warner if I could help with the project. I told him I'd gone to school with you, that I'd heard about the little boy, that I'd seen you in person."
He laughed a hard laugh.
Warner was thrilled. He thought it would make the experiment more interesting.
He added, disgusted.
"And I knew that if he wanted to claim you as some kind of sick project—"
He hesitated, looked away, ran a hand through his hair.
"I just knew I had to do something. I thought I could try to help, but now it's gotten worse. Warner won't stop talking about what you're capable of, or how valuable you are to his efforts, and how excited he is to have you here. Everyone is beginning to notice. Warner is ruthless. He has no mercy for anyone. He loves the power, the thrill of destroying people, but he's starting to crack, Juliette. He's so desperate to have you join him. And for all his threats, he doesn't want to force you. He wants you to want it, to choose him in a way."
He looked down, took a tight breath.
He's losing his edge. And whenever I see his face, I'm always about 2 inches away from doing something stupid. I'd love to break his jaw.
Yes, Warner is losing his edge. He's paranoid, though with good reason. But then he's patient and impatient with me, excited and nervous all the same time. He's a walking oxymoron. He disables my cameras, but some nights he orders Adam to sleep outside my door to make sure I don't escape. He says I can eat lunch alone, but always ends up summoning me to his side. The few hours Adam and I would have had together are stolen from us. But the fewer nights Adam is allowed to sleep inside my room, I manage to spend huddled in his arms. We both sleep on the floor now, wrapped up in each other for warmth, even with the blanket covering our bodies. Every time he touches me, it's like a burst of fire and electricity that ignites my bones in the most amazing way. It's the kind of feeling I wish I could hold in my hand. Adam tells me about new developments, whispers he's heard around the other soldiers. He tells me how there are multiple headquarters across what's left of the country, how Warner's dad is at the capital, how he's left his son in charge of this entire sector. He says Warner hates his father, but loves the power, the destruction, the devastation. He strokes my hair and tells me stories and tucks me close like he's afraid I'll disappear. He paints pictures of people and places until I fall asleep, until I'm drowning in a drug of dreams to escape a world with no refuge, no relief, no release but his reassurances in my ear. Sleep is the only thing I look forward to these days. I can hardly remember why I used to scream. Things are getting too comfortable, and I'm beginning to panic.
Put these on,
Warner says to me. Breakfast in the blue room has become routine. I eat and don't ask where the food comes from, whether or not the workers are being paid for what they do, how this building manages to sustain so many lives, pump so much water, or use so much electricity. I bide my time now. I cooperate. Warner hasn't asked me to touch him again, and I don't offer. What are they for? I eye the small pieces of fabric in his hands and feel a nervous twinge in my gut. He smiles a slow, sneaky smile.
An aptitude test.
He grabs my wrist and places the bundle in my hand.
I'll turn around, just this once.
I'm almost too nervous to be disgusted by him. My hands shake as I change into the outfit that turns out to be a tiny tank top and tinier shorts. I'm practically naked. I'm practically convulsing in fear of what this might mean. I clear my throat just the tiniest bit, and Warner spins around. He takes too long to speak. His eyes are busy traveling the road map of my body. I want to rip up the carpet and sew it to my skin. He smiles and offers me his hand. I'm granite and limestone and marbled glass. I don't move. He drops his hand. He cocks his head.
Follow me.
Warner opens the door. Adam is standing outside. He's gotten so good at masking his emotions that I hardly register the look of shock that shifts in and out of his features. Nothing but the strain in his forehead, the tension in his temples gives him away. He knows something's not right. He actually turns his head to take in my appearance. He blinks.
Sir, remain where you are, soldier. I'll take it from here.
Adam doesn't answer.
Yes, sir,
he says, his voice suddenly hoarse. I feel his eyes on me as I turn down the hall. Warner takes me somewhere new. We're walking through corridors I've never seen, blacker and bleaker and more narrow as we go. I realize we're heading downward. into a basement. We pass through 1, 2, 4 metal doors. Soldiers everywhere, their eyes everywhere, appraising me with both fear and something else I'd rather not consider. I've realized there are very few females in this building. If there were ever a place to be grateful for being untouchable, it'd be here. It's the only reason I have asylum from the preying eyes of hundreds of lonely men. It's the only reason Adam is staying with me, because Warner thinks Adam is a cardboard cutout of vanilla regurgitations. He thinks Adam is a machine oiled by orders and demands. He thinks Adam is a reminder of my past, and he uses it to make me uncomfortable. He'd never imagine Adam could lay a finger on me. No one would. Everyone I meet is absolutely petrified. The darkness is like a black canvas punctured by a blunt knife, with beams of light peeking through. It reminds me too much of my old cell. My skin ripples with uncontrollable dread. I'm surrounded by guns. "In you go," Warner says. I'm pushed into an empty room smelling faintly of mold. Someone hits a switch and fluorescent lights flicker on to reveal pasty yellow walls and carpet the color of dead grass. The door slams shut behind me. There's nothing but cobwebs and a huge mirror in this room. The mirror is half the size of the wall. Instinctively, I know Warner and his accomplices must be watching me. I just don't know why. There are secrets everywhere. There are answers nowhere. Mechanical clinks, cracks, creaks, and shifts shake the space I'm standing in. The ground rumbles to life. The ceiling trembles with the promise of chaos. Metal spikes are suddenly everywhere, scattered across the room, puncturing every surface at all different heights. Every few seconds they disappear, only to reappear with a sudden jolt of terror, slicing through the air like needles. I realize I'm standing in a torture chamber. Static and feedback from speakers older than my dying heart crackle to life. I'm a racehorse galloping toward a false finish line, breathing hard for someone else's gain. "Are you ready?" Warner's amplified voice echoes around the room. "What am I supposed to be ready for?" I yell into the empty space, certain that someone can hear me. I'm calm. I'm petrified. "We had a deal, remember?" The room responds. "What?" "I disabled your cameras. Now it's your turn to hold up your end of the bargain." "I won't touch you," I shout, spinning in place, terrified, horrified, worried I might faint at any moment. "That's all right," he says. "I'm sending in my replacement." The door squeals open, and a toddler waddles in wearing nothing but a diaper. He's blindfolded and hiccuping sobs, shuddering in fear. One pin pops my entire existence into nothing. "If you don't save him," Warner's words crackle through the room, "we won't either." This child. Chapter 25. Warner knows I don't have a choice. He wants to force me into another situation where he can see the impact of my abilities, and he has no problem torturing an innocent child to get exactly what he wants. Right now, I have no options. I have to take a chance before this little boy steps forward in the wrong direction. I quickly memorize as much as I can of the traps and dodge, hop, narrowly avoid the spikes until I'm as close as possible. I take a deep, shaky breath and focus on the shivering limbs of the boy in front of me and pray to God I'm making the right decision. I'm about to pull off my shirt to use as a barrier between us when I notice the slight vibration in the ground, the tremble that precedes the terror. I know I have half of a second before the spikes slice up through the air and even less time to react. I yank him up and into my arms. His screams pierce through me like I'm being shot to death, one bullet for every second. He's clawing at my arms, my chest, kicking my body as hard as he can, crying out in agony until the pain paralyzes him. He goes weak in my grip, and I'm being ripped to pieces, my eyes, my bones, my veins all tumbling out of place, all turning on me to torture me forever with memories of the horrors I'm responsible for. Pain and power are bleeding through his body into mine, jolting through his limbs and crashing into me until I nearly drop him. It's like reliving a nightmare I've spent 3 years trying to forget.
Absolutely amazing. Warner sighs through the speakers, and I realize I was right. He must be watching through a two-way mirror. Brilliant, love. I'm thoroughly impressed. I'm too desperate to be able to focus on Warner right now. I have no idea how long this sick game is going to last, and I need to lessen the amount of skin I'm exposing to this little boy's body. My skimpy outfit makes so much sense now. I rearrange him in my arms and manage to grab hold of his diaper. I'm holding him up with the palm of my hand. I'm desperate to believe I couldn't have touched him long enough to cause serious damage. He hiccups once. His body quivers back to life. I could cry from happiness. But then, the screams start back up again, no longer cries of torture but of fear. He's desperate to get away from me, and I'm losing my grip, my wrist nearly breaking from the effort. I don't dare remove his blindfold. I'd rather die than allow him to see this space, to see my face. I clench my jaw so fast I'm afraid I'm going to break my teeth. If I put him down, he'll start running, and if he starts running, he's finished. I have to keep holding on. The roar of an old mechanical wheeze revives my heart. The spikes slip back into the ground one by one until they've all disappeared. The room is harmless again so swiftly I fear I may have imagined the danger. I drop the boy back onto the floor and bite down on my lip to swallow the pain welling in my wrist. The child starts running and accidentally bumps my bare legs. He screams and shudders and falls to the floor, curled up into himself, sobbing until I consider destroying myself, ridding myself of this world. Tears are streaming fast down my face, and I want nothing more than to reach out to him and help him, hug him close, kiss his beautiful cheeks, and tell him I'll take care of him forever, that we'll run away together, that I'll play games with him and read him stories at night, and I know I can't. I know I never will. I know it will never be possible. And suddenly the world shifts out of focus. I am overcome by a rage, an intensity, an anger so potent I'm almost elevated off the ground. I'm boiling with blind hatred and disgust. I don't even understand how my feet move in the next instant. I don't understand my hands and what they're doing, or how they decided to fly forward, fingers splayed, charging toward the window. I only know I want to feel Warner's neck snap between my own two hands. I want him to experience the same terror he just inflicted upon a child. I want to watch him die. I want to watch him beg for mercy. I catapult through the concrete walls. I crush the glass with 10 fingers. I'm clutching a fistful of gravel and a fistful of fabric at Warner's neck, and there are 50 different guns pointed at my head. The air is heavy with cement and sulfur, the glass falling in an agonized symphony of shattered hearts. I slam Warner into the corroded stone. "Don't you dare shoot her," Warner wheezes at the guards.
I haven't touched his skin yet, but I have the strangest suspicion that I could smash his ribcage into his heart if I just pressed a little harder. I should kill you. My voice is one deep breath, one uncontrolled exhalation. He tries to swallow. You just broke through concrete with your bare hands. I blink. I don't dare look behind me, but I know without looking backward that he can't be lying. I must have. My mind is a maze of impossibility. I lose focus for one instant. The guns, click, 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 every moment is loaded. If any of you hurt her, I will shoot you myself, Warner barks. But sir, stand down, soldier! The rage is gone. The sudden uncontrollable anger is gone. My mind has already surrendered to disbelief, confusion. I don't know what I've done. I obviously don't know what I'm capable of, because I had no idea I could destroy anything at all. And I'm suddenly so terrified of my own 2 hands. I stumble backward, stunned, and catch Warner watching me hungrily, eagerly, his emerald eyes bright with boyish fascination. He's practically trembling in excitement. There's a snake in my throat, and I can't swallow it down. I meet Warner's gaze. If you ever put me in a position like that again, I will kill you. And I will enjoy it. I don't even know if I'm lying. Chapter 26. Adam finds me curled into a ball on the shower floor. I've been crying for so long I'm certain the hot water is made of nothing but my tears. My clothes are stuck to my skin, wet and useless. I want to wash them away. I want to drown in ignorance. I want to be stupid, dumb, mute, completely devoid of a brain. I want to cut off my own limbs. I want to be rid of this skin that can kill, and these hands that destroy, and this body I don't even know how to understand. Everything is falling apart.
Juliette.
He presses his hand against the glass. I can hardly hear him. When I don't respond, he opens the shower door. He's pelted with rebel raindrops and kicks his boots off before falling to his knees on the tile floor. He reaches in to touch my arms, and the feeling only makes me more desperate to die. He sighs and pulls me up, just enough to lift my head. His hands trap my face and his eyes search through me until I look away.
I know what happened,
he says softly. My throat is a reptile, covered in scales. Someone should just kill me, I croak, cracking with every word. Adam's arms wrap around me until he's tugged me up, and I'm wobbling on my legs, and we're both standing upright. He steps into the shower and slides the door shut behind him. I gasp. He holds me up against the wall, and I see nothing but his white t-shirt soaked through, nothing but the water dancing down his face, nothing but his eyes, full of a world I'm dying to be a part of.
It wasn't your fault,
he whispers. It's what I am, I choke.
No, Warner's wrong about you,
Adam says.
He wants you to be someone you're not, and you can't let him break you. Don't let him get into your head. He wants you to think you're a monster. He wants you to think you have no choice but to join him. He wants you to think you'll never be able to live a normal life.
But I won't live a normal life. I swallow a hiccup. Not ever. I'll never. Adam is shaking his head.
You will. We're going to get out of here. I won't let this happen to you.
How could you possibly care about someone like me? I'm barely breathing, nervous and petrified, but somehow staring at his lips, studying the shape, counting the drops of water tumbling over the hills and valleys of his mouth.
Because I'm in love with you.
I swallow my stomach. My eyes snap up to read his face, but I'm a mess of electricity, humming with life and lightning, hot and cold, and my heart is erratic. I'm shaking in his arms, and my lips have parted for no reason at all. His mouth softens into a smile. My bones have disappeared. I'm spinning with delirium. His nose is touching my nose, his lips one breath away, his eyes devouring me already, and I'm a puddle with no arms and no legs. I can smell him everywhere. I feel every point of his figure pressed against mine. His hands at my waist, gripping my hips, his legs flush against my own, his chest overpowering me with strength, his frame built by bricks of desire. The taste of his words lingers on my lips. Really? I have one whisper of incredulity, one conscious effort to believe what's never been done. I'm flushed through my feet, filled with unspoken everything. He looks at me with so much emotion I nearly crack in half.
God, Juliette.
And he's kissing me. Once, twice, until I've had a taste and realize I'll never have enough. He's everywhere, up my back and over my arms, and suddenly he's kissing me harder, deeper, with a fervent, urgent need I've never known before. He breaks for air only to bury his lips in my neck, along my collarbone, up my chin and cheeks, and I'm gasping for oxygen, and he's destroying me with his hands, and we're drenched in water and beauty and the exhilaration of a moment I never knew was possible. He pulls back with a low groan, and I want him to take his shirt off. I need to see the bird. I need to tell him about the bird. My fingers are tugging at the hem of his wet clothes, and his eyes widen for only a second before he rips the material off himself. He grabs my hands and lifts my arms above my head and pins me against the wall, kissing me until I'm sure I'm dreaming, drinking in my lips with his lips, and he tastes like rain and sweet musk, and I am about to explode. My knees are knocking together, and my heart is beating so fast I don't understand why it's still working. He's kissing away the pain, the hurt, the years of self-loathing, the insecurities, the dashed hopes for a future I always pictured as obsolete. He's lighting me on fire, burning away the torture of Warner's games, the anguish that poisons me every single day. The intensity of our bodies could shatter these glass walls. It nearly does. For a moment, we're just staring at each other, breathing hard until I'm blushing, until he closes his eyes and takes one ragged, steadying breath, and I place my hand on his chest. I dare to trace the outline of the bird soaring across his skin. I dare to trail my fingers down the length of his abdomen. You're my bird, I tell him. You're my bird, and you're going to help me fly away. Adam is gone by the time I get out of the shower. He wrung his clothes out and dried himself off and granted me privacy to change. Privacy I'm not sure I care about anymore. I touch 2 fingers to my lips and taste him everywhere. But when I step into the room, he's not anywhere. He had to report downstairs. I stare at the clothes in my closet. I always choose a dress with pockets because I don't know where else to store my notebook. It doesn't carry any incriminating information, and the one piece of paper that bore Adam's handwriting has since been destroyed and flushed down the toilet, but I like to keep it close to me. It represents so much more than a few words scribbled on paper. It's a small token of my resistance. I tuck the notebook into a pocket and decide I'm finally ready to face myself. I take a deep breath, push the wet strands of hair away from my eyes, and pad into the bathroom. The steam from the shower has clouded the mirror. I reach out a tentative hand to wipe away a small circle, just big enough. A scared face stares back at me. I touch my cheeks and study the reflective surface, study the image of a girl who's simultaneously strange and familiar to me. My face is thinner, paler, my cheekbones higher than I remember them. My eyebrows perched above two wide eyes, not blue, not green, but somewhere in between. My skin is flushed with heat and something named Adam. My lips are too pink. My teeth are unusually straight. My finger is trailing down the length of my nose, tracing the shape of my chin when I see a movement in the corner of my eye.
"You're so beautiful,"
he says to me. I'm pink and red and maroon all at once. I duck my head and trip away from the mirror only to have him catch me in his arms. I'd forgotten my own face, I whisper.
"Just don't forget who you are,"
he says. I don't even know.
"Yes, you do."
He tilts my face up.
"I do."
I stare at the strength in his jaw, in his eyes, in his body. I try to understand the confidence he has in who he thinks I am, and realize his reassurance is the only thing stopping me from diving into a pool of my own insanity. He's always believed in me. Even soundlessly, silently, he fought for me. Always. He's my only friend. I take his hand and hold it to my lips. I've loved you forever, I tell him. The sun rises, rests, shines in his face, and he almost smiles, almost can't meet my eyes. His muscles relax. His shoulders find relief in the weight of a new kind of wonder, and he exhales. He touches my cheek, touches my lips, touches the tip of my chin, and I blink, and he's kissing me. He's pulling me into his arms and into the air, and somehow we're on the bed, entangled in each other, and I'm drugged with emotion, drugged by each tender moment. His fingers skim my shoulder, trail down my silhouette, rest at my hips. He pulls me closer, whispers my name, drops kisses down my throat, and struggles with the stiff fabric of my dress. His hands are shaking so slightly, his eyes brimming with feeling, his heart thrumming with pain and affection, and I want to live here, in his arms, in his eyes, for the rest of my life. I slip my hands under his shirt, and he chokes on a moan that turns into a kiss that needs me and wants me and has to have me so desperately it's like the most acute form of torture. His weight is pressed into mine, on top of mine, infinite points of feeling for every nerve ending in my body, and his right hand is behind my neck, and his left hand is reeling me in, and his lips are falling down my shirt, and I don't understand why I need to wear clothes anymore, and I'm a cumulonimbus existence of thunder and lightning and the possibility of exploding into tears at any inopportune moment. Bliss, bliss, bliss is beating through my chest. I don't remember what it means to breathe. I never, ever, ever knew what it meant to feel. An alarm is hammering through the walls. The room beeps and blares to life, and Adam stiffens, pulls back. His face collapses. This is a code 7. All soldiers must report to the quadrant immediately. This is a code 7. All soldiers must report to the quadrant immediately. This is a code 7. All soldiers must report to the quadrant. Adam is on his feet and pulling me up, and the voice is still shouting orders through a speaker system wired into the building. "There's been a breach," he says, his voice broken and breathy, his eyes darting between me and the door. "Jesus,
I can't just leave you here.
Go, I tell him. You have to go. I'll be fine. Footsteps are thundering through the halls and soldiers are barking at each other so loudly I can hear it through the walls. Adam is still on duty. He has to perform. He has to keep up appearances until we can leave. I know this. He pulls me close.
This isn't a joke, Juliette. I don't know what's happening. It could be anything.
A metal click. A mechanical switch. The door slides open and Adam and I jump 10 feet apart. Adam rushes to exit just as Warner is walking in. They both freeze.
I'm pretty sure that alarm has been going off for at least a minute, soldier. Yes, sir. I wasn't sure what to do about her.
He's suddenly composed, a perfect statue. He nods at me like I'm an afterthought, but I know he's just slightly too stiff in the shoulders, breathing just a beat too fast.
Lucky for you, I'm here to take care of that. You may report to your commanding officer. Sir.
Adam nods, pivots on one heel, and darts out the door. I hope Warner didn't notice his hesitation. Warner turns to face me with a smile so calm and casual, I begin to question whether the building is actually in chaos. He studies my face, my hair, glances at the rumpled sheets behind me, and I feel like I've swallowed a spider.
You took a nap?
I couldn't sleep last night.
You've ripped your dress.
What are you doing here? I need him to stop staring at me. I need him to stop drinking in the details of my existence.
If you don't like the dress, you can always choose a different one, you know. I picked them out for you myself.
That's okay, the dress is fine. I glance at the clock for no real reason. It's already 4:30 in the afternoon. Why won't you tell me what's going on? He's too close. He's standing too close, and he's looking at me, and my lungs are failing to expand.
You should really change.
I don't want to change. I don't know why I'm so nervous, why he's making me so nervous, why the space between us is closing too quickly. He hooks a finger in the rip close to the drop waist of my dress, and I bite back a scream.
This just won't do.
It's fine. He tugs so hard on the rip that it splits open the fabric and creates a slit up the side of my leg.
That's a bit better.
What are you doing? His hands snake up my waist and clamp my arms in place, and I know I need to defend myself, but I'm frozen, and I want to scream, but my voice is broken, broken, broken. I'm a ragged breath of desperation.
I have a question,
he says, and I try to kick him in this worthless dress, and he just squeezes me up against the wall, the weight of his body pressing me into place, every inch of him covered in clothing, a protective layer between us.
I said I have a question, Juliette.
His hand slips into my pocket so quickly it takes me a moment to realize what he's done. I'm panting up against the wall, shaking and trying to find my head.
I'm curious, he says. What is this?
He's holding my notebook between two fingers. Oh God. This dress is too tight to hide the outline of the notebook, and I was too busy looking at my face to check the dress in the mirror. This is all my fault, all my fault, all my fault, all my fault. I can't believe it. This is all my fault. I should have known better. I say nothing. He cocks his head.
I don't recall giving you a notebook. I certainly don't remember granting you allowance for any possessions either.
I brought it with me. My voice catches.
Now you're lying.
What do you want from me? I panic.
That's a stupid question, Juliette.
The soft sound of smooth metal slipping out of place. Someone has opened my door. Click.
Get your hands off of her before I bury a bullet in your head.
Chapter 27. Warner's eyes close very slowly. He steps away very slowly. His lips twitch into a dangerous smile.
Kent.
Adam's hands are steady, the barrel of his gun pressed into the back of Warner's skull.
You're going to clear our exit out of here.
Warner actually laughs. He opens his eyes and whips a gun out of his inside pocket only to point it directly at my forehead.
I will kill her right now. You're not that stupid, Adam says. If she moves even a millimeter, I will shoot her, and then I will rip you to pieces.
Adam shifts quickly, slamming the butt of his gun into Warner's head. Warner's gun misfires, and Adam catches his arm and twists his wrist until his grip on the weapon wavers. I grab the gun from Warner's limp hand and slam the butt of it into his face. I'm stunned by my own reflexes. I've never held a gun before, but I guess there's a first time for everything. I pointed at Warner's eyes. Don't underestimate me.
Holy shit.
Adam doesn't bother hiding his surprise. Warner coughs through a laugh, steadies himself, and tries to smile as he wipes the blood from his nose.
I never underestimate you, he says to me. I never have.
Adam shakes his head for less than a second before his face splits into an enormous grin. He's beaming at me as he presses the gun harder into Warner's skull.
Let's get out of here.
I grab the 2 duffel bags stowed away in the armoire and toss one to Adam. We've been packed for a week already. If he wants to make a break for it earlier than expected, I have no complaints. Warner's lucky we're showing him mercy. But we're lucky the entire building has been evacuated. He has no one to rely on. Warner clears his throat. He's staring straight at me when he speaks.
I can assure you, soldier, your triumph will be short-lived. You may as well kill me now, because when I find you, I will thoroughly enjoy destroying every bone in your body. You're a fool if you think you can get away with this. I'm not your soldier.
Adam's face is stone.
I never have been. You've been so caught up in the details of your own fantasy, you failed to notice the dangers right in front of your face.
We can't kill you yet, I add. You have to get us out of here.
You're making a huge mistake, Juliette, he says to me. His voice actually softens. You're throwing away an entire future. He sighs. How do you know you can trust him?
I glance at Adam. Adam, the boy who's always defended me, even when he had nothing to gain. I shake my head to clear it. I remind myself that Warner is a liar, a crazed lunatic, a psychotic murderer. He would never try to help me. I think. Let's go before it's too late, I say to Adam. He's just trying to stall us until the soldiers get back.
He doesn't even care about you,
Warner explodes. I flinch at the sudden uncontrolled intensity in his voice.
He just wants a way out of here, and he's using you.
He steps forward.
I could love you, Juliette. I would treat you like a queen.
Adam puts him in a swift headlock and points the gun at his temple.
You obviously don't understand what's happening here,
he says very carefully.
Then educate me, soldier,
Warner wheezes out. His eyes are dancing flames, dangerous.
Tell me what I'm failing to understand.
Adam! I'm shaking my head. He meets my eyes, nods, turns to Warner.
Make the call,
he says, squeezing his neck a little tighter.
Get us out of here, now. Only my dead body would allow her to walk out that door.
Warner exercises his jaw and spits blood on the floor.
You I would kill for pleasure, he says to Adam. But Juliette is the one I want forever.
I'm not yours to want. I'm breathing too hard. I'm anxious to get out of here. I'm angry he won't stop talking, but as much as I'd love to break his face, he's no good to us unconscious.
You could love me, you know.
He's smiling a strange sort of smile.
We would be unstoppable. We would change the world. I could make you happy, he says to me.
Adam looks like he might snap Warner's neck. His face is so taut, so tense, so angry. I've never seen him like this before.
You have nothing to offer her, you sick bastard.
Warner presses his eyes shut for 1 second.
Juliette, don't be hasty. Don't make a rash decision. Stay with me. I'll be patient with you. I'll give you time to adjust. I'll take care of you.
You're insane. My hands are shaking, but I hold the gun up to his face again. I need to get him out of my head. I need to remember what he's done to me. You want me to be a monster for you.
I want you to live up to your potential.
Let me go, I say quietly. I don't want to be your creature. I don't want to hurt people.
The world has already hurt you, he counters. The world put you here. You're here because of them. You think if you leave, they're going to accept you? You think you can run away and live a normal life? No one will care for you. No one will come near you. You'll be an outcast like you've always been. Nothing has changed. You belong with me. She belongs with me.
Adam's voice could cut through steel. Warner flinches. For the first time, he seems to be understanding what I thought was obvious. His eyes are wide, horrified, unbelieving, staring at me with a new kind of anguish.
No.
A short, crazed laugh.
Juliette, please don't tell me he's filled your head with romantic notions. Please don't tell me you fell for his false proclamations.
Adam slams his knee into Warner's spine. Warner falls to the floor with a muffled crack and a sharp intake of breath. Adam has thoroughly overpowered him. I feel like I should be cheering. But I'm too anxious. I'm too suspended in disbelief. I'm too insecure to be confident in my own decisions. I need to pull myself together. Adam!
I love you,
he says to me. His eyes just as earnest as I remember them. His words just as urgent as they should be.
Don't let him confuse you. You love her?
Warner practically spits.
You don't even.
Adam! The room shifts in and out of focus. I'm staring at the window. I glance back at him. His eyes touch his eyebrows.
You want to jump out?
I nod.
But we're 15 stories up.
What choice do we have if he won't cooperate? I look at Warner, cock my head. There is no code 7, is there? Warner's lips twitch. He says nothing. Why would you do that? I ask him. Why would you pull a false alarm?
Why don't you ask the soldier you're so suddenly fond of?
Warner snaps, disgusted.
Why don't you ask yourself why you're trusting your life to someone who can't even differentiate between a real and an imaginary threat?
Adam swears under his breath. I lock eyes with him and he tosses me his gun. He shakes his head, swears again, clenches and unclenches his fist.
It was just a drill.
Warner actually laughs. Adam glances at the door, the clock, my face.
We don't have much time.
I'm holding Warner's gun in my left hand and Adam's gun in my right and pointing them both at Warner's forehead, doing my best to ignore the eyes he's drilling in my direction. Adam uses his free hand to dig in his pockets for something. He pulls out a pair of plastic zip ties and kicks Warner onto his back just before binding his limbs together. Warner's boots and gloves have been discarded on the floor. Adam keeps one boot pressed on his stomach.
"A million alarms are going to go off the minute we jump through that window," he tells me. "We'll have to run, so we can't risk breaking our legs. We can't jump."
"So what do we do?" He runs a hand through his hair and bites down on his bottom lip, and for one delirious moment all I want to do is taste him. I force myself back into focus.
"I have rope," he says. "We'll have to climb down, and fast."
He sets to work pulling out a coil of cord attached to a small claw-like anchor. I asked him 1,000,000 times what on earth he would need it for, why he would pack it in his escape bag. He told me a person could never have too much rope. Now I almost want to laugh. He turns to me.
"I'm going to go down first so I can catch you on the other side."
Warner laughs loud, too loud.
"You can't catch her, you fool."
He squirms in his plastic shackles.
"She's wearing next to nothing. She'll kill you and kill herself from the fall."
My eyes dart between Warner and Adam. I don't have time to entertain Warner's charades any longer. I make a hasty decision. "Do it. I'll be right behind you." Warner looks crazed, confused.
"What are you doing?"
I ignore him.
"Wait."
I ignore him.
"Juliette."
I ignore him.
"Juliette!"
His voice is tighter, higher, laced with anger and terror and denial and betrayal. Realization is a new piece in his puzzled mind.
"He can touch you?"
Adam is wrapping his fist in the bedsheet.
"God damn it, Juliette, answer me!"
Warner is writhing on the floor, unhinged in a way I never thought possible. He looks wild, his eyes disbelieving, horrified.
"Has he touched you?"
I can't understand why the walls are suddenly on the ceiling. Everything is stumbling sideways.
"Juliette."
Adam breaks through the glass with one swift crack, one solid punch, and instantly the entire room is ringing with the sound of hysteria like no alarm I've heard before. The room is rumbling under my feet. Footsteps are thundering down the halls, and I know we're about 1 minute from being discovered. Adam throws the cord through the window and slings his pack over his back.
"Throw me your bag,"
he shouts, and I can barely hear him. I toss my duffel and he catches it right before slipping through the window. I run to join him. Warner tries to grab my leg. His failed attempt nearly trips me, but I manage to stumble my way to the window without losing much time. I glance back at the door and feel my heart racing through my bones. The sound of soldiers running and yelling is getting louder, closer, clearer by the second.
"Hurry!"
Adam is calling to me.
"Juliette, please!"
Warner swipes for my leg again, and I gasp so loud I almost hear it through the sirens shattering my eardrums. I won't look at him, I won't look at him, I won't look at him. I swing one leg through the window and latch on to the cord. My bare legs are going to make this an excruciating ordeal. Both legs are through. My hands are in place. Adam is calling to me from below, and I don't know how far down he is. Warner is screaming my name, and I look up despite my best efforts. His eyes are 2 shots of green punched through a pane of glass, cutting through me. I take a deep breath and hope I won't die. I take a deep breath and inch my way down the rope. I take a deep breath and hope Warner doesn't realize what just happened. I hope he doesn't know. He just touched my leg. And nothing happened. Chapter 28. I'm burning. The cord is chafing my legs into a fiery mass, so painful I'm surprised there's no smoke. I bite back the pain because I have no choice. The mass hysteria of the building is bulldozing my senses, raining down danger all around us. Adam is shouting to me from below, telling me to jump, promising he'll catch me. I'm too ashamed to admit I'm afraid of the fall. I never have a chance to make my own decision. Soldiers are already pouring into what used to be my room, shouting and confused, probably shocked to find Warner in such a feeble position. It was really too easy to overpower him. It worries me. It makes me think we did something wrong. A few soldiers pop their heads out of the shattered window, and I'm frantic to shimmy down the rope, but they're already moving to unlatch the anchor. I prepare myself for the nauseating sensation of free fall, only to realize they're not trying to drop me. They're trying to reel me back inside. Warner must be telling them what to do. I glance down at Adam below me and finally give in to his calls. I squeeze my eyes shut and let go, and fall right into his open arms. We collapse onto the ground, but the breath is knocked out of us for only a moment. Adam grabs my hand, and then we're running. There's nothing but empty, barren space stretching out ahead of us. Broken asphalt, uneven pavement, dirt roads, naked trees, dying plants, a yellowed city abandoned to the elements, drowning in dead leaves that crunch under our feet. The civilian compounds are short and squat, grouped together in no particular order, and Adam makes sure to stay as far away from them as possible. The loudspeakers are already working against us. The sound of a young, smoothly mechanical female voice drowns out the sirens. Curfew is now in effect. Everyone return to their homes immediately. There are rebels on the loose. They are armed and ready to fire. Curfew is now in effect. Everyone return to their homes immediately. There are rebels on the loose. They are armed and ready to fire. My sides are cramping. My skin is tight. My throat dry, desperate for water. I don't know how far we've run. All I know is the sound of boots pounding the pavement, the screech of tires peeling out of underground storage units, alarms wailing in our wake. I look back to see people screaming and running for shelter, ducking away from the soldiers, rushing through their homes, pounding down doors to see if we've found refuge somewhere inside. Adam pulls me away from civilization and heads toward the abandoned streets of an earlier decade. Old shops and restaurants, narrow side streets and abandoned playgrounds. The unregulated land of our past lives has been strictly off limits. It's forbidden territory. Everything closed down, everything broken, rusted shut, lifeless. No one is allowed to trespass here, not even soldiers. And we're charging through these streets trying to stay out of sight. The sun is slipping through the sky and tripping toward the edge of the earth. Night will be coming quickly, and I have no idea where we are. I never expected so much to happen so quickly, and I never expected it all to happen on the same day. I just have to hope to survive, but I haven't the faintest idea where we might be headed. It never occurred to me to ask Adam where we might go. We're darting in a million directions, turning abruptly, going forward a few feet only to head back in an opposite path. My best guess is that Adam is trying to confuse and/or distract our followers as much as possible. I can do nothing but attempt to keep up. And I fail. Adam is a trained soldier. He's built for exactly these kinds of situations. He understands how to flee, how to stay inconspicuous, how to move soundlessly in any space. I, on the other hand, am a broken girl who's known no exercise for too long. My lungs are burning with the effort to inhale oxygen, wheezing with the effort to exhale carbon dioxide. I'm suddenly gasping so desperately Adam is forced to pull me into a side street. He's breathing a little harder than usual, but I've acquired a full-time job choking on the weakness of my limp body. Adam takes my face in his hands and tries to focus my eyes.
I want you to breathe like I am, okay?
I wheeze a bit more.
Focus, Juliette.
His eyes are so determined, infinitely patient. He looks fearless, and I envy him his composure.
Calm your heart, he says. Breathe exactly as I do.
He takes 3 small breaths in, holds it for a few seconds, and releases in one long exhalation. I try to copy him. I'm not very good at it.
Okay, I want you to keep breathing like—"
He stops. His eyes dart up and around the abandoned street for a split second. I know we have to move. Gunshots shatter the atmosphere. I'd never realized just how loud they are or just how much that sound fractures every functioning bone in my body. An icy chill seeps through my blood, and I know immediately that they're not trying to kill me. They're trying to kill Adam. I'm suddenly asphyxiated by a new kind of anxiety. I can't let them hurt him. Not for me. But Adam doesn't have time for me to catch my breath and find my head. He flips me up and into his arms and takes off in a diagonal dash across another alleyway. And we're running. And I'm breathing. And he shouts, "Wrap your arms around my neck." And I release the chokehold I have on his t-shirt, and I'm stupid enough to feel shy as I slip my arms around him. He readjusts me against him so I'm higher, closer to his chest. He carries me like I weigh less than nothing. I close my eyes and I press my cheek against his neck. The gunshots are somewhere behind us, but even I can tell from the sound that they're too far away and too far in the wrong direction. We seem to have momentarily outmaneuvered them. Their cars can't even find us, because Adam has avoided all main streets. He seems to have his own map of this city. He seems to know exactly what he's doing, like he's been planning this for a very long time. After inhaling exactly 594 times, Adam drops me to my feet in front of a stretch of chain-link fence. I realize he's struggling to swallow oxygen, but he doesn't pant like I do. He knows how to regulate his breathing. He knows how to steady his pulse, calm his heart, maintain control over his organs. He knows how to survive. I hope he'll teach me, too.
"Juliette," he says after a breathless moment, "can you jump this fence?"
I'm so eager to be more than a useless lump that I nearly sprint up and over the metal barrier. But I'm reckless and too hasty. I practically rip my dress off and scratch my legs in the process. I wince against the stinging pain, and in the moment it takes me to reopen my eyes, Adam is already standing next to me. He looks down at my legs and sighs. He almost laughs. I wonder what I must look like, tattered and wild in this shredded dress. The slit Warner created now stops at my hip bone. I must look like a crazed animal. Adam doesn't seem to mind. He slowed down, too. We're moving at a brisk walk now, no longer barreling through the streets. I realize we must be closer to some semblance of safety, but I'm not sure if I should ask questions now or save them for later. Adam answers my silent thoughts.
"They won't be able to track me out here,"
he says, and it dawns on me that all soldiers must have some kind of tracking device on their person. I wonder why I never got one. It shouldn't be this easy to escape.
"Our trackers aren't tangible,"
he explains. We make a left into another alleyway. The sun is just dipping below the horizon. I wonder where we are, how far away from re-established settlements we must be that there are no people here.
"It's a special serum injected into our bloodstream," he continues, "and it's designed to work with our body's natural processes. It would know, for example, if I died. It's an excellent way to keep track of soldiers lost in combat."
He glances at me out of the corner of his eye. He smiles a crooked smile I want to kiss. "So how did you confuse the tracker?" His grin grows bigger. He waves one hand around us.
"This space we're standing in? It was used for a nuclear power plant. One day, the whole thing exploded."
My eyes are as big as my face. When did that happen?
"About 5 years ago. They cleaned it up pretty quickly. Hid it from the media, from the people. No one really knows what happened here, but the radiation alone is enough to kill."
He pauses.
"It already has."
He stops walking.
"I've been through this area 1,000,000 times already, and I haven't been affected by it. Warner used to send me up here to collect samples of the soil. He wanted to study the effects.
He runs a hand through his hair.
I think he was hoping to manipulate the toxicity into a poison of some kind. The first time I came up here, Warner thought I'd died. The tracker is linked to all of our main processing systems. An alert goes off whenever a soldier is lost. He knew there was a risk in sending me, so I don't think he was too surprised to hear I'd died. He was more surprised to see me return.
He shrugs as though his death would have been an insignificant detail.
There's something about the chemicals here that counteracts the molecular composition of the tracking device. So basically, right now, everyone thinks I'm dead.
Won't Warner suspect you might be here?
Maybe.
He squints up at the fading sunlight. Our shadows are long and unmoving.
Or I could have been shot. In any case, it buys us some time.
He takes my hand and grins at me before something slams into my consciousness. What about me? I ask. Can this radiation kill me? I hope I don't sound as nervous as I feel. I've never wanted to be alive so much in my life. I don't want to lose everything so soon.
Oh, no.
He shakes his head.
Sorry, I forgot to tell you. One of the reasons why Warner wanted me collecting these samples is because you're immune to it too. He was studying you. He said he found the information in your hospital records, that you've been tested, but no one ever, probably without your knowledge, and despite testing positive for the radiation, you were entirely whole biologically. There was nothing inherently wrong with you.
Nothing inherently wrong with you. The observation is so blatantly false, I actually start laughing. I try to stifle my incredulity. There's nothing wrong with me? You're kidding, right? Adam stares at me so long I begin to blush. He tips my chin up so I meet his eyes, blue, 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 boring into me. His voice is deep, steady.
I don't think I've ever heard you laugh.
He's so excruciatingly correct. I don't know how to respond except with the truth. My smile is tucked into a straight line. Laughter comes from living. I shrug, try to sound indifferent. I've never really been alive before. His eyes haven't wavered in their focus. He's holding me in place with the strength of one powerful pull coming from deep within him. I can almost feel his heart beating against my skin. I can almost feel his lips breathing against my lungs. I can almost taste him on my tongue. He takes a shaky breath and pulls me close, kisses the top of my head.
Let's go home,
he whispers. Chapter 29. Home. Home. What does he mean? I part my lips to ask the question, and his sneaky smile is the only answer I receive. I'm embarrassed and excited and anxious and eager. My stomach is filled with beating drums pounded into synchronicity by my heart. I'm practically humming with electric nerves. Every step is a step away from the asylum, away from Warner, away from the futility of the existence I've always known. Every step is one I take because I want to. For the first time in my life, I walk forward because I want to, because I feel hope and love and the exhilaration of beauty, because I want to know what it's like to live. I could jump up to catch a breeze and live in its wind-blown ways forever. I feel like I've been fitted for wings. Adam leads me into an abandoned shed on the outskirts of this wild field, overgrown by rogue vegetation and crazed bush-like tentacles, scratchy and hideous, likely poisonous to ingest. I wonder if this is where Adam meant for us to stay. I step into the dark space and squint. An outline comes into focus. There's a car inside. I blink. Not just a car, a tank. Adam almost can't control his own eagerness. He looks at my face for a reaction and seems pleased with my astonishment. His words tumble out.
I convinced Warner I'd managed to break one of the tanks I brought up here. These things are designed to run on electricity, so I told him the main unit fried on contact with the chemical traces, that it was corrupted by something in the atmosphere. He arranged for a car to deliver and collect me after that, and said we should leave the tank where it is.
He almost smiles.
Warner was sending me up here against his father's wishes, and didn't want anyone to find out he'd broken a $500,000 tank. The official report says it was hijacked by rebels.
Couldn't someone else have come up and seen the tank sitting here? Adam opens the passenger door.
The civilians stay far, far away from this place, and no other soldier has been up here. No one else wanted to risk the radiation.
He cocks his head.
It's one of the reasons why Warner trusted me with you. He liked that I was willing to die for my duty.
He never thought you'd step out of line, I murmur, comprehending. Adam shakes his head.
Nope. And after what happened with the tracking serum, he had no reason to doubt that crazy things were possible up here. I deactivated the tank's electrical unit myself, just in case he wanted to check.
He nods back to the monstrous vehicle.
I had a feeling it would come in handy one day. It's always good to be prepared.
Prepared. He was always prepared. To run, to escape. I wonder why.
Come here,
he says, his voice noticeably gentler. He reaches for me in the dim light, and I pretend it's a happy coincidence that his hands brush my bare thighs. I pretend that it doesn't feel incredible to have him struggle with the rips in my dress as he helps me into the tank. I pretend I can't see the way he's looking at me as the last of the sun falls below the horizon.
I need to take care of your legs,
he says, a whisper against my skin, electric in my blood. For a moment, I don't even understand what he means. I don't even care. My thoughts are so impractical, I surprise myself. I've never had the freedom to touch anyone before. Certainly no one has ever wanted my hands on them. Adam is an entirely new experience. Touching him is all I want to think about.
The cuts aren't too bad,
he continues, the tips of his fingers running across my calves. I suck in my breath.
But we'll have to clean them up, just in case. Sometimes it's safer being cut by a butcher knife than being scratched by a random scrap of metal. You don't want it to get infected.
He looks up. His hand is now on my knee. I'm nodding, and I don't know why. I wonder if I'm trembling on the outside as much as I am on the inside. I hope it's too dark for him to see just how flushed my face is, just how embarrassing it is that he can't touch my knee without making me crazy. I need to say something. We should probably get going, right?
Yeah.
He takes a deep breath and seems to return to himself.
Yeah, we have to go.
He peers through the evening light.
We have some time before they realize I'm still alive, and we have to use it to our advantage.
But once we leave this place, won't the trackers start back up again? Won't they know you're not dead?
No.
He jumps into the driver's seat and fumbles for the ignition. There's no key, just a button. I wonder if it recognizes Adam's thumbprint as authorization. A small sputter and the machine roars to life.
Warner had to renew my tracker serum every time I got back. Once it's gone, it's gone. So now we can really get the hell out of here.
But where are we going? I finally ask. He shifts into gear before he responds.
My house.
Chapter 30. You have a house? I'm too shocked for manners. Adam laughs and pulls out of the field. The tank is surprisingly fast, surprisingly swift and stealthy. The engine has quieted to a soothing hum, and I wonder if that's why they switched their tanks from gas to electric. It's certainly less conspicuous this way.
Not exactly, he answers. But a home of sorts, yeah.
I want to ask and don't want to ask and need to ask and never want to ask. I have to ask. I steel myself. Your father...
He's been dead for a while now.
Adam's not smiling anymore. His voice is tight with something only I would know how to place. Pain, bitterness, anger. Oh. We drive in silence, each of us absorbed in our own thoughts. I don't dare ask what became of his mother. I only wonder how he turned out so well despite having such a despicable father. And I wonder why he ever joined the army if he hates it so much. Right now, I'm too shy to ask. I don't want to infringe on his emotional boundaries. God knows I have a million of my own. I peer out the window and strain my eyes to see what we're passing through, but I can't make out much more than the sad stretches of deserted land I've grown accustomed to. There are no civilians where we are. We're too far from re-established settlements and civilian compounds. I notice another tank patrolling the area not 100 feet away, but I don't think it sees us. Adam is driving without headlights, presumably to draw as little attention to us as possible. I wonder how he's even able to navigate. The moon is the only lamp to light our way. It's eerily quiet. For a moment, I allow my thoughts to drift back to Warner, wondering what must be going on right now, wondering how many people must be searching for me, wondering what lengths he'll go to until he has me back. He wants Adam dead. He wants me alive. He won't stop until I'm trapped beside him. He can never, never, never know that I can touch him. I can only imagine what he'd do if he had access to my body. I breathe in one quick, sharp, shaky breath and contemplate telling Adam what happened. No, 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 no. I squeeze my eyes shut and consider I may have misjudged the situation. It was chaotic. My brain was distracted. Maybe I imagined it. Yes, maybe I imagined it. It's strange enough that Adam can touch me. The likelihood of there being two people in this world who are immune to my touch doesn't seem possible. In fact, the more I think about it, the more I'm determined I must have made a mistake. It could have been anything brushing my leg, maybe a piece of the sheet Adam abandoned after using it to punch through the window. Maybe a pillow that had fallen from the bed. Maybe Warner's gloves lying discarded on the floor. Yes. There's no way he could have touched me, because if he had, he would have cried out in agony, just like everyone else. Adam's hand slips silently into mine, and I grip his fingers in both my hands, suddenly desperate to reassure myself that he has immunity from me. I'm suddenly desperate to drink in every drop of his being, desperate to savor every moment I've never known before. I suddenly worry that there's an expiration date on this phenomenon. A clock striking midnight, a pumpkin carriage. The possibility of losing him. The possibility of losing him. The possibility of losing him is 100 years of solitude I don't want to imagine. I don't want my arms to be devoid of his warmth, his touch, his lips, God, his lips, his mouth on my neck, his body wrapped around mine, holding me together as if to affirm that my existence on this earth is not for nothing. Realization is a pendulum the size of the moon. It won't stop slamming into me.
Juliette.
I swallow back the bullet in my throat. Yes?
Why are you crying?
His voice is almost as gentle as his hand, as it breaks free from my grip. He touches the tears rolling down my face, and I'm so humiliated, I almost don't know what to say. You can touch me, I say for the first time, recognize out loud for the first time. My words fade to a whisper. You can touch me. You care and I don't know why. You're kind to me and you don't have to be. My own mother didn't care enough to... My voice catches and I press my lips together, glue them shut, force myself to be still. I am a rock, a statue, a movement frozen in time. Ice feels nothing at all. Adam doesn't answer, doesn't say a single word until he pulls off the road and into an old underground parking garage. I realize we've reached some semblance of civilization, but it's pitch black below ground. I can see next to nothing, and once again wonder at how Adam is managing. My eyes fall on the screen illuminated on his dashboard, only to realize the tank has night vision. Of course. Adam shuts off the engine. I hear him sigh. I can hardly distinguish his silhouette before I feel his hand on my thigh, his other hand tripping its way up my body to find my face. Warmth spreads through my limbs like molten lava. The tips of my fingers and toes are tingling to life, and I have to bite back the shiver aching to rock my frame.
Juliette,
he whispers, and I realize just how close he is. I'm not sure why I haven't evaporated into nothingness.
It's been me and you against the world forever, he says. It's always been that way. It's my fault I took so long to do something about it.
No, I'm shaking my head. It's not your fault.
It is. I fell in love with you a long time ago. I just never had the guts to act on it.
Because I could have killed you. He laughs a quiet laugh.
Because I didn't think I deserved you.
I'm one piece of astonishment forged into being. What? He touches his nose to mine, leans into my neck, wraps a piece of my hair around his fingers, and I can't breathe.
You're so good,
he whispers. But my hands
have never done anything to hurt anyone.
I'm about to protest when he corrects himself.
Not on purpose.
He leans back. I can just barely see him rubbing the side of his neck.
You never fought back, he says after a moment. I always wondered why. You never yelled or got angry or tried to say anything to anyone, he says. And I know we're both back in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th grade all over again. But damn, you must have read a million books.
I know he's smiling when he says it. A pause.
You bothered no one, but you were a moving target every day. You could have fought back. You could have hurt everyone if you wanted to.
I don't want to hurt anyone. My voice is less than a whisper. I can't get the image of 8-year-old Adam out of my head. Lying on the floor, broken, abandoned, crying into the dirt. The things people will do for power.
That's why you'll never be what Warner wants you to be.
I'm staring at a point in the blackness, my mind tortured by possibilities. How can you be sure? His lips are so close to mine.
Because you still give a damn about the world.
I gasp, and he's kissing me, deep and powerful and unrestrained. His arms wrap around my back, dipping my body until I'm practically horizontal, and I don't care. My head is on the seat, his frame hovering over me, his hands gripping my hips from under my tattered dress, and I'm licked by a million flames of wanting so desperate I can hardly inhale. He's a hot bath, a short breath, 5 days of summer pressed into 5 fingers, writing stories on my body. I'm an embarrassing mess of nerves crashing into him, controlled by one current of electricity coursing through my core. His scent is assaulting my senses. His eyes, his hands, his chest, his lips are at my ear when he speaks.
We're here, by the way.
He's breathing harder now than when he was running for his life. I feel his heart pounding against my ribs. His words are a broken whisper.
Maybe we should go inside. It's safer.
But he doesn't move. I almost don't understand what he's talking about. I just nod my head, bobbing on my neck, until I remember he can't see me. I try to remember how to speak, but I'm too focused on the fingers he's running down my thighs to form sentences. There's something about the absolute darkness, about not being able to see what's happening, that makes me drunk with a delicious dizziness. Yes, is all I manage. He helps me back up to a seated position, leans his forehead against mine.
I'm sorry, he says. It's so hard for me to stop myself.
His voice is dangerously husky. His words tingle on my skin. I allow my hands to slip up under his shirt and feel him stiffen, swallow. I trace the perfectly sculpted lines of his body. He's nothing but lean muscle. You don't have to, I tell him. His heart is racing so fast I can't distinguish it from my own. It's 5,000 degrees in the air between us. His fingers are at the dip right below my hip bone, teasing the small piece of fabric keeping me halfway decent.
Juliette.
Adam? My neck snaps up in surprise, fear, anxiety. Adam stops moving, frozen in front of me. I'm not sure he's breathing. I look around but can't find a face to match the voice that called his name and begin to panic before Adam is slamming open the door, flying out before I hear it again. Adam, is that you? It's a boy.
James.
The muffled sound of impact, two bodies colliding, two voices too happy to be dangerous. I can't believe it's really you. I thought it was you because I thought I'd heard something, and at first I figured it was nothing, but then I decided I should probably check just to be sure, because what if it was you? And he pauses. Wait, what are you doing here?
I'm home.
Adam laughs a little. Really? James squeaks. Are you home for good?
Yeah.
He sighs.
Damn, it's good to see you.
I missed you, James says, suddenly quiet. One deep breath.
Me too, kid. Me too.
Hey, so have you eaten anything? Benny just delivered my dinner package, and I could share some with you.
James?
He pauses. Yeah?
There's someone I want you to meet.
My palms are sweaty. My heart is in my throat. I hear Adam walk back toward the tank, and I don't realize he's popped his head inside until he hits a switch. A faint emergency light illuminates the cabin. I blink a few times and see a young boy standing about 5 feet away, dirty blonde hair framing a round face with blue eyes that look too familiar. He's pressed his lips together in concentration. He's staring at me. Adam is opening my door. He helps me to my feet, barely able to control the smile on his face, and I'm stunned by the level of my own nervousness. I don't know why I'm so nervous, but God, I'm nervous. This boy is obviously important to Adam. I don't know why, but I feel like this moment is important too. I'm so worried I'm going to ruin everything. I try to fix the ripped folds of my dress, try to soften the wrinkles ironed into the fabric. I run haphazard fingers through my hair. It's useless. The poor kid will be petrified. Adam leads me forward. James is a handful of inches short of my height, but it's obvious in his face that he's young, unblemished, untouched by most of the world's harsh realities. I want to revel in the beauty of his innocence.
James, this is Juliette.
Adam glances at me.
Juliette, this is my brother, James.
Chapter 31. His brother. I try to shake off the nerves. I try to smile at the boy studying my face, studying the pathetic pieces of fabric barely covering my body. How did I not know Adam had a brother? How could I have never known? James turns to Adam. This is Juliette? I'm standing here like a lump of nonsense. I don't remember my manners. You know who I am? James spins back in my direction. Oh yeah, Adam talks about you a lot. I flush and can't help but glance at Adam. He's staring at a point on the floor. He clears his throat. It's really nice to meet you, I manage. James cocks his head. So, do you always dress like that? I'd like to die a little.
Hey kid, Adam interrupts. Juliette is going to be staying with us for a little while. Why don't you go make sure you don't have any underwear lying on the floor, huh?
James looks horrified. He darts into the darkness without another word. It's quiet for so many seconds I lose count. I hear some kind of drip in the distance. I take a deep breath, bite my bottom lip, try to find the right words. Fail. I didn't know you had a brother. Adam hesitates.
Is it okay that I do? We'll all be sharing the same space, and
My stomach drops onto my knees. Of course it's okay. Are you sure it's okay? For him? If I'm here? There's no underwear anywhere, James announces, marching forward into the light. I wonder where he disappeared to, where the house is. He looks at me. So, you're going to be staying with us? Adam intervenes.
Yeah, she's going to crash with us for a bit.
James looks from me to Adam, back to me again. He sticks out his hand. Well, it's nice to finally meet you. All the color drains from my face. My heart is pounding in my ears. My knees are about to break. I can't stop staring at his small hand outstretched, offered to me.
James,
Adam says a little curtly. James starts laughing. I was only kidding. He drops his hand. What? I can barely breathe. My head is spinning, confused. Don't worry, James says, still chuckling. I won't touch you. Adam told me all about your magical powers. He rolls his eyes. What?
Hey, maybe we should go inside.
Adam clears his throat a little too loudly.
I'll just grab our bags real quick.
And he jogs off toward the tank. I'm left staring at James. He doesn't conceal his curiosity. How old are you? He asks me. 17. He nods. That's what Adam said. I bristle. What else did Adam tell you about me? He said you don't have parents either. He said you're like us. My heart is a stick of butter melting recklessly on a hot summer day. My voice softens. How old are you? I'll be 11 next year. I grin. So you're 10 years old? He crosses his arms, frowns. I'll be 12 in 2 years. I think I already love this kid. The cabin light shuts off, and for a moment we're immersed in absolute darkness. A soft click and a faint circular glow illuminates the view. Adam has a flashlight.
Hey, James, why don't you lead the way for us?
Yes, sir. He skids to a halt in front of Adam's feet, offers us an exaggerated salute, and runs off so quickly there's no possible way to follow him. I can't help the smile spreading across my face. Adam's hand slips into mine as we move forward.
You okay?
I squeeze his fingers. You told your 10-year-old brother about my magical powers? He laughs.
I tell him a lot of things.
Adam?
Yeah?
Isn't your house the first place Warner will go looking for you? Isn't this dangerous?
It would be, but according to public records, I don't have a home.
And your brother?
Would be Warner's first target. It's safer for him where I can watch over him. Warner knows I have a brother, he just doesn't know where, and until he figures it out, which he will, we have to prepare.
To fight?
To fight back, yeah.
Even in the dim light of this foreign space, I can see the determination holding him together. It makes me want to sing. I close my eyes. Good. What's taking you so long? James shouts in the distance. And we're off. The parking garage is located underneath an old abandoned office building buried in the shadows. A fire exit leads directly up to the main floor. James is so excited he's jumping up and down the stairs, running forward a few steps only to run back to complain we're not coming fast enough. Adam catches him from behind and lifts him off the floor. He laughs.
You're going to break your neck.
James protests, but only half-heartedly. He's all too happy to have his brother back. A sharp pang of some distant kind of emotion hits me in the heart. It hurts in a bittersweet way I can't place. I feel oddly warm and numb at the same time. Adam punches a passcode into a keypad by a massive steel door. There's a soft click, a short beep, and he turns the handle. I'm stunned by what I see inside. Chapter 32. It's a full living room, open and plush. A thick rug, soft chairs, one sofa stretched across the wall. Green and red and orange hues, warm lamps softly lit in the large space. It feels more like a home than anything I've ever seen. The cold, lonely memories of my childhood can't even compare. I feel so safe so suddenly it scares me.
You like it?
Adam is grinning at me, amused no doubt by the look on my face. I manage to pick my jaw up off the floor. I love it, I say, out loud or in my head, I'm unsure. Adam did it, James says, proud, puffing his chest out a little more than necessary. He made it for me.
I didn't make it, Adam protests, chuckling. I just cleaned it up a bit.
You live here by yourself? I ask James. He shoves his hands into his pockets and nods. Benny stays with me a lot, but mostly I'm here alone. I'm lucky, though. Adam is dropping our bags onto the couch. He runs a hand through his hair, and I watch as the muscles in his back flex, tight, pulled together. I watch as he exhales the tension from his body. I know why, but I ask anyway. Why are you lucky? Because I have a visitor. None of the other kids have visitors. There are other kids here? I hope I don't look as horrified as I feel. James is nodding so quickly his head is wobbling on his neck. Oh yeah, this whole street. All the kids are here. I'm the only one with my own room, though. He gestures around the space. This is all mine because Adam got it for me, but everyone else has to share. We have school, sort of, and Benny brings me my food packages. Adam says I can play with the other kids, but I can't bring them inside. He shrugs. It's okay. The reality of what he's saying spreads like poison in the pit of my stomach. A street dedicated to orphaned children. I wonder how their parents died. I don't wonder for long. I take inventory of the room and notice a tiny refrigerator and a tiny microwave perched on top, both nestled into a corner. See some cabinets set aside for storage. Adam brought as much stuff as he could. All sorts of canned food and non-perishable items. We both brought our toiletries and multiple sets of clothes. We packed enough to survive for at least a little while. James pulls a tinfoil package out of the fridge and sticks it in the microwave. Wait, James, don't. I try to stop him. His eyes are wide, frozen. What? The tinfoil. You can't put metal in the microwave. What's a microwave? I blink so many times the room spins. What? He pulls the lid off the tinfoil container to reveal a small square. It looks like a bouillon cube. He points to the cube and then nods at the microwave. It's okay. I always put this in the automat. Nothing happens.
It takes the molecular composition of the food and multiplies it.
Adam is standing beside me.
It doesn't add any extra nutritional value, but it makes you feel fuller longer.
And it's cheap, James says, grinning as he sticks it back in the contraption. It astounds me how much has changed. People have become so desperate they're faking food. I have so many questions I'm liable to burst. Adam squeezes my shoulder gently. He whispers,
We'll talk later, I promise.
But I'm an encyclopedia with too many blank pages. James falls asleep with his head in Adam's lap. He talked non-stop once he finished his food, telling me all about his sort of school and his sort of friends, and Benny, the elderly lady who takes care of him because, I think she likes Adam better than me, but she sneaks me sugar sometimes, so it's okay. Everyone has a curfew. No one but soldiers are allowed outside after sunset. Each soldier armed and instructed to fire at their own discretion. Some people get more food and stuff than other people, James said. But that's because the people are sorted based on what they can provide to the reestablishment, and not because they're human beings with the right not to starve to death. My heart cracked a little more with every word he shared with me. You don't mind that I talk a lot, huh? He bit down on his bottom lip and studied me. I don't mind at all. Everyone says I talk a lot, he shrugged. But what am I supposed to do when I have so much to say?
Hey, about that?
Adam interrupted.
You can't tell anyone we're here, okay?
James' mouth stopped mid-movement. He blinked a few times. He stared hard at his brother. Not even Benny?
No one,
Adam said. For one infinitesimal moment, I saw something that looked like raw understanding flash in his eyes. A 10-year-old who can be trusted absolutely. He nodded again and again. Okay, you were never here. Adam brushes back wayward strands of hair from James's forehead. He's looking at his brother's sleeping face as if trying to memorize each brushstroke of an oil painting. I'm staring at him, staring at James. I wonder if he knows he's holding my heart in his hand. I take a shaky breath. Adam looks up and I look down, and we're both embarrassed for different reasons. He whispers,
I should probably put him in bed.
But doesn't make an effort to move. James is sound asleep. When was the last time you saw him? I ask, careful to keep my voice down.
About 6 months ago.
A pause.
But I talked to him on the phone a lot.
Smiles a little.
Told him a lot about you.
I flush, count my fingers to make sure they're all there. Didn't Warner monitor your calls?
Yeah, but Benny has an untraceable line, and I was always careful to keep it to official reporting only. In any case, James has known about you for a long time.
Really? I hate that I have to know, but I can hardly help myself. I'm a tangle of butterflies. He looks up, looks away, locks eyes with me, sighs.
Juliette, I've been searching for you since the day you left.
My eyelashes trip into my eyebrows. My jaw drops into my lap.
I was worried about you,
he says quietly.
I didn't know what they were going to do to you.
Why? I gasp, I swallow, I stumble on words. Why would you possibly care? He leans back against the couch, runs a free hand over his face. Seasons change, stars explode. Someone is walking on the moon.
You know, I still remember the first day you showed up at school.
He laughs a soft, sad laugh.
Maybe I was too young, and maybe I didn't know much about the world, but there was something about you I was immediately drawn to. It's like I just wanted to be near you, like you had this goodness I never found in my life, this sweetness that I never found at home. I just wanted to hear you talk. I wanted you to see me, to smile at me. Every single day I promised myself I would talk to you. I wanted to know you. But every day I was a coward. And one day you just disappeared. I heard the rumors, but I knew better. I knew you'd never hurt anyone.
He looks down. The earth cracks open and I'm falling into the fissure.
It sounds crazy,
he says, finally, so quietly.
To think that I cared so much without ever talking to you.
He hesitates.
But I couldn't stop thinking about you. I couldn't stop wondering where you went, what would happen to you. I was afraid you'd never fight back.
He's silent for so long I want to bite through my tongue.
I had to find you,
he whispers.
I asked around everywhere and no one had answers. The world kept falling apart. Things were getting worse and I didn't know what to do. I had to take care of James and I had to find a way to live and I didn't know if joining the army would help, but I never forgot about you. I always hoped.
He falters.
That one day I would see you again.
I've run out of words. My pockets are full of letters I can't string together, and I'm so desperate to say something that I say nothing, and my heart is about to burst through my chest.
Juliette.
You found me. 3 syllables, 1 whisper of astonishment.
Are you upset?
I look up, and for the first time I realize he's nervous, worried, uncertain how I'll react to this revelation. I don't know whether to laugh or cry or kiss every inch of his body. I want to fall asleep to the sound of his heart beating in the atmosphere. I want to know he's alive and well, breathing in and out, strong and sane and healthy forever. You're the only one who ever cared. My eyes are filling with tears and I'm blinking them back and feeling the burn in my throat, and everything hurts. The weight of the entire day crashes into me, threatens to break my bones. I want to cry out in happiness, in agony, in joy, and the absence of justice. I want to touch the heart of the only person who ever gave a damn. I love you, I whisper. So much more than you will ever know. His eyes are a midnight moment, filled with memories, the only windows into my world. His jaw is tight, his mouth is tight. He looks up and tries to clear his throat, and I know he needs a moment to pull himself together. I tell him he should probably put James in bed. He nods, cradles his brother to his chest, gets to his feet and carries James to the storage closet that's become his bedroom. I watch him walk away with the only family he has left, and I know why Adam joined the army. I know why he suffered through being Warner's whipping boy. I know why he dealt with the horrifying reality of war, why he was so desperate to run away, so ready to run away as soon as possible, why he's so determined to fight back. He's fighting for so much more than himself.